I can't believe that when you said, "Let's we're in front room."
Right, we're on. We're on. Let's just check.
Oh man.
No, but you've got the room, mate. You've got the room.
Yeah, well, we're not. We're 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you got the room.
Cool. Right. Hello, everybody. We're okay. Chris, are we all good?
Benny Max got here.
We are.
Straight away.
Hang on. Comments.
Tony, you need to get on the comments, mate.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I need Benny. How are we doing, mate?
How you doing, Benny?
Benny, lad.
First question, mark. You are first. Yeah.
All right. So we all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm getting straight into my beverage of the night. My first live beer, mate.
All right, come on. Tell you what, let's get a banner on. There you go, you see.
Choice.
Professional.
Oh, did you hear that? I'm on a Love and Hate by Vocation Brewery. New England IPA.
I'll get my first one.
What are you on, mate?
Hang on.
Oh, God.
I'm going to start.
Orange.
I'm going to start with my
layer cake.
Mine smells like Satan's bladder.
Well, I'm on El Castillo d'Alebrio. White, though, this time. It's not red.
Casillero del Dadby. Can't speak.
There you go.
Diablo.
Castle of the Devil.
Is that what it says? Is that what it stands for?
Casillero is like castle. Diablo is the devil. House of the devil, mate. Casillero del Diablo.
You wake up with a massive head.
The devil comes in and sees to you, mate.
Kicks you in the head while you're asleep. Look at that. I like that little glass, Tony.
There's a story here.
A story? Ooh, look at that. Is it? Yeah, it's cloudy, isn't it, that?
It's like, yeah, I can't say that. It's cloudy. It's hazy, yeah.
It's cloudy.
Anyway, right. What's the plan for tonight, then, lads? What are we going to start with?
Whatever you choose. You're the host. You're the host with the most.
You're in charge, mate. I'm just sitting here.
Okie doke. Shall we start with a few questions? Let's have a look. What have we got?
You're on Faith, are you, Benny? Northern Monk Faith. Seen them actually, yeah.
Benny, where are you from, mate?
Hey,
are you from
Gary. How you doing, buddy?
Where's everyone from?
Salute.
Where's everyone from? I don't know. I think Benny's, isn't he Liverpool based or where are you from?
Sure.
Come on, Benny.
Gary, mate, where's Gary from?
Gary's Northumberland way.
Yeah, share where you're from.
All right, Charlie. Charlie boy's here.
Oh, Wigan
way originally.
Oh, it's near York, mate. What a pub crawl in York. Just go, Sunderland.
It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
York.
Sunderland, beautiful.
Some of my, just a Benny there, some of my best times, best pub crawls are in York. Going there, mate, round autumn. The Golden Fleece, Pivney, the Blue Boar, Guy Fawkes Inn. I absolutely love going around York. That's one of the best pub crawls ever.
It is good. It is good.
It's one of Pat Dickinson's favourites, isn't it, as well?
Top night out, yeah. But let's go for a pub crawl around York.
Yeah. That'd be good.
To be honest, there's no reason why we can't hit the van and have an urban wild camp pub crawl.
I'll just sleep in one of the doorways in York Minster, mate. I'll be fine. Sleeping bag, no problem.
Yeah, I'll come and pick you up in the morning.
Mrs. Noble is in the house.
Cool. Yep. How's that look? Looking good. Well done. Thank you.
Joe, how's the hand warmer going? Joe and Les got the hand warmers, didn't he? How's it going, mate? Have you tried it out? What's it like? Hello, Natalie. Hello, Michelle.
Close to us as well.
Yeah. Who's Burnley? Oh, Natalie.
Near Burnley, yeah. near Burnley.
Natalie puts drone videos. Natalie, have you got a YouTube channel? I've seen some of the pictures you put on some of the video clips. I think you put on Facebook.
Show me Saturday, isn't it? Show me Saturday.
Follow me Friday. Follow me Saturday / Friday. But I'm sure Natalie's done drone videos. I've seen them from around what's that place, Tony? White Collar or Wickler?
White Collar.
Yeah.
White Collar, yeah.
White Collar. So she's saying, yeah, that's me. Well, what's your channel? You can say it on air. It's fine.
Yeah, get them up. Yeah, get them up. Definitely.
Hand warmers ace.
Tom. How you doing, buddy? You're from Kent, are you, Tom?
Oh, we've got some stuff
down there in Kent.
Some witch stories for Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain Allen, Ormskirk. Oh, close to me.
Ormskirk.
I'm not from Ormskirk, but I do live here.
Oh, you're not? Are you not originally from Ormskirk then, Chris?
No, mate. I grew up in. I'm a woolly back. Grew up in Lydiate and McGull.
That sounds like it's in Scotland or something like that.
No, it's like outside. It's more so it's closer to Liverpool than I live now. But I just sort of
never heard of that place.
Yeah, I know. Like Lydiate.
Lydiate.
Yeah, it's like a little farming village, mate, in the middle of nowhere.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah,
but I've been around.
Woolly back. Right, Noble. First section then.
So let's go to the questions that we've received. Joe's asked us, when winter camping, do we sleep in our day clothes or do we change into thermals?
Is that just winter camping?
When winter camping, do you sleep in your day clothes or do you change into thermals?
I just do that. I sleep pretty much unless I'm got soaking wet and I need to change into dry clothes. I just sleep in what I'm in. I can't be bothered, to be honest. Getting me sleeping bag, wearing what I've got. That's about it for one night camping.
Yeah, well, I do the same. I thought, well, if it's been absolutely pouring down, I'll get changed in the tent.
Yeah.
And then whatever I've got. I bought myself, for this winter, which I've obviously not been able to use, I bought myself some nice quilted padded trousers. Yeah. Look like Wallace and Gromit. But I've only had them on once. So yeah, I just tend to sort of get in the sleeping bag with the whatever I'm wearing, and nice and toasty. Which, to be honest, always begged the. I've always thought, to be honest, with the sleeping bag rating, I've never got my head around what are they expecting you to be wearing with those?
You are meant to be wearing nothing,
right?
When you get in your sleeping
does that
bag,
mean you sleep naked? Then
I've tried it. But I'm really, really warm-blooded person. Me, I need to be warm. Or is it cold-blooded? One or two.
Yeah,
cold-blooded.
But I need to be warm. So yeah, I've had a few winter camps in a 4-season sleeping bag, and froze, absolutely froze. So now, I tend to. I've got a pair of like outdoor pants that I wear that have got like a fleece lining inside. So I make sure I have them on come winter. But I've got a fleece, like a fleece sleeping bag that I climb into first. And then if your pants are dirty, if you've got like dirty bottoms that you've been going through mud and stuff like, it doesn't matter because you're in the fleece and then climb into your sleeping bag. So the sleeping bag's kept clean, but you can wash your fleece. And that fleece is added protection. So yeah. That's me.
So sleeping bag's comfort rating is down to, let's say, -5 comfort rating. What are you wearing at -5?
It's, like I say, it's meant to be nothing when you get in a sleeping bag.
Literally nothing.
Well, your boxers, innit? You know.
Yeah, but that begs the question, mate. If you want to get out for a piss in the middle of the night, you've got to throw your clothes on and get dressed, get out your tent.
Or you just do what Nobles does and start running around Pendle Hill. Just in his boxers.
Just wait till just wait till this year.
So we've answered that, hopefully, in a roundabout way.
Alan went to school in McGull.
Was it? Did you go to Maricourt or Days, mate? That's the question. Or McGull Hi. McGull
Okay, next one. What's the best and worst bits of being on YouTube?
Best bits. It's just best bits for me is interactions. I love getting the comments and chatting to people. As you know, I never shut up. So yeah, I like having a chat with people. So yeah, comments all the way for me.
Yeah.
And obviously people liking your stuff. You know, there's no better buzz when somebody, you know, is really, you know, they're really chuffed with what you're doing. Worst bits, gosh, worst bits for me, possibly, I don't know. The worst bits, the worst bits for me. Anybody can take criticism as long as it's constructive criticism. The worst bits for me are when they come on and they just one word or a sentence of just utter dribble that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We've all had it, you know. That's what really bugs me, and there's just nothing. But that's just trolls, in it. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'd say best bits for me are.
Yeah, I do, Gary. Yeah.
Best bits
Things
for
like
me are interactions, getting positive feedback when people, and it's not a cheesy answer, it's just being genuine. Like when people say, you know, oh, I've always wanted to do wild camping or give it a go, and I've done it now. Thanks very much. Or when people reach out, sometimes you get personal emails saying, struggling mentally, just want to say that your videos are really helping. That to me, like, that's just like magical, you know, when people give that kind of feedback. And then the negatives, pretty much what you say. I think anyone who puts videos on YouTube, you need to get used to the fact that no matter what you do, no matter how much effort, you know, you might think I've done a really good video, or that, you know, that meant a lot to me, or especially if you're putting, you know, sentimental ones on with like family members. Like I did a catch and cook one with my dad. And so that was a great, important, happy time I had with my dad. But no matter what you put on there, there was always people that are going to thumb it down no matter what. I get thumbs down within 30 seconds of putting a video live. So one of my subscribers subscribes just to put thumbs down, which, you know, you can draw your own conclusions as to what kind of a life they you know, feel they have to lead. But it's getting used to it's wash off a duck's back now. But initially, you have to get quite thick-skinned very quickly and just learn.
It is
no
hard.
matter what you do, you're going to get criticised. So you just got to sort of get used to it and just, whatever. You know,
I think what I notice as well through life, you know, the majority of people that you come across, it's not, YouTube is not like real life, you know, because they can get away with doing stuff like that. If you was criticised in your working environment or home life or anything like that, there would be a constructive reason why there was, and as well, it's down to tone as well. I don't mind criticism as long as it's constructive and they're explaining why I think, right, well, no, I think you're wrong there or something like that. But some of them are just downright rude, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. But
yeah, I've got a simple solution. Like now, I used to take it a bit personally, but you get used to it, and it's like, so what? Anyone that leaves a comment on one of mine, which is just blatant trolling with no constructiveness to the feedback whatsoever, I just instantly block them. So you know, they can still watch the vids, but they can't comment. So that's my policy now. I think I said it on the Pendle Hill video. any more comments of that nature, instant ban them. Goodbye. Right, no problem.
No, it's right. What about you, Tony?
For me, the best bit, genuinely. So I've been doing it for 2 years. It's meeting you guys, meeting the people that I've met. So you guys, Phil. It's just sort of
community.
Your social circle of like-minded people. Definitely, that's the best bit. Absolutely, definitely. I don't mind the negative comments, to be honest. I always find it quite amusing. They don't know me from Adam. I don't care. They can say what they like. Worst bits for me really is just trying to avoid falling in that trap of having it becoming a chore rather than a pleasure. Trying to avoid thinking that every couple of weeks I've got to get a video out, because the whole point for me was just to sort of doing YouTube videos was just to sort of enhance doing what I'll enjoy doing anyway.
Yeah, it's fair enough, isn't it? Yeah.
And what I've found occasionally is that you end up sort of feeling almost pressured to do something that you really can't be bothered doing, just so that you can make a video.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to avoid, because I don't. That's not what I want to do. I want to do things I enjoy doing, record them, and make the best possible video that I can, and that's it.
Yeah. And the term like creator is a little bit cheesy, isn't it? But at the end of the day, you are creating something. You're taking a walk with a camera, and you're taking loads of video clips, adding your music, editing it, putting it all together as one product. You created something which is on YouTube forever. So you're making something, aren't you? You're creating a product. Your video is a creation of you.
Yeah. Well, once you finish, there's something there that wasn't there before, isn't it? That's by its very definition, you have created something.
Yeah.
Whether it's any good or not is highly subjective, but it's something didn't exist that now does.
Benny's asking, does YouTube tell you leave thumbs down? No, it's totally anonymous, because YouTube are, I'm not going to go into politics on this, but yeah, they are. I think they're of a certain lean into a certain persuasion, and they think it would be wrong to identify people who leave negative a thumbs down. In reality, it doesn't mean anything. A thumbs down doesn't hurt your video, because it still counts as engagement. So whether the thumb points up or down, YouTube's algorithm still sees that a person has engaged with your video, and therefore it has a thumbs down has no negative effect on the how successful a video is on the platform. It doesn't make any difference.
No.
All right, so we've answered that one. Noble, question 3.
Question 3 is, hang on, where's my phone? Right, going back to trolls. What is your worst troll comment?
Oh God, jeez,
Worst comment?
I can't think, to be honest with you now.
Well, I've got top of my head. I've got loads of them.
I know the one that you're gonna say, Tony. I know the one that you're gonna pick. It is a funny one though. That.
I am halfway through your video. I know more about your face than I do about that tent. You aren't that good looking.
Oh man.
The problem with your videos is that you are in them,
mate. But I just think that's pathetic, because I've seen YouTube videos that I don't like. I watch it, and what do I do? I just stop watching it and I go on to something else. I don't feel the need to click a thumbs down and then write some negative personal comment about someone. If you're watching something you don't like, just change the channel, watch something else. Pathetic.
Yeah, I got a comment recently, actually. I think I told you to. It were a paragraph as well, so he took his time. It wasn't a case of like it wasn't like a troll thing. It was why have you stuck music onto it when you and bear in mind and basically showing us how to cook something from scratch, when really you didn't have put any music on it. We could have listened to the birds in the trees and you could have fast forward through your cooking session, just showed us what you were eating. But there were things worse than that in it.
You should have just replied saying, "Mate, how do you get through your day? How do you make it?"
I don't understand it. Jeez.
Yeah, you get loads. I got one. Remember, I was out on the walk with Ant, and I got this like really negative thing, and it was like, it stands to reason. I'll get to that question from Gary. It stands to reason that your YouTube channel over time it grows. No matter how rubbish or good you are, you will pick up subscribers just at different rates. And I got this like really abusive thing saying, I'm all about, I've gone all commercial. Someone like me, when my channel was small. And now, remember that one, Ant? And it was like, you've lost it. Like, you just commercial now, and you don't represent people like me with like little to no equipment. And it was like, it's a little bit unfair because
you've worked your ass off, and I'm sure that everybody on here knows how much you've worked your ass off to get where you are. This guy, he turns out videos for our pleasure throughout lockdown. We know, the hassles, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, the hassles that he's been through this past year and things like that. But he's still got content out for us to watch, and decent content as well. It's no shit. Swearing there, sorry guys, but there's no crap in it. It's all decent quality content. But to get a comment like that because you've raised the bar, you've got to a point where people have started following you big time, which you more than deserve. But it did pay you off. I could tell it. It is.
It's a strange mindset. It's basically, I think it's like quite a flawed mindset because it's saying, I like anything that's small, but if anything, starts picking up a bit, I don't like it. So it's like, say you like Nike trainees. They're a big global brand now. I'm just using this analogy, for example. I've just plucked it out of thin air. But say when Nike started off, they made the first trainee and someone bought it and said, "Oh, I like that." And then, say fast forward 50 years, they're a big global brand. I don't like you anymore because you're selling trainees all over the world. Well, hang on a minute. I thought you liked the trainer. What's that? I don't know. I'm rambling on, but yeah.
It takes something to get used to it, and you have got used to it now, but you, as we've always said, you're gonna get more trolls as you get bigger. That's the be all and end all. There's no stopping it. You're gonna get people that are gonna wind you up.
Well, I mean, to put the for me, it's not about subscribers. Yeah, I get a little bit of something back from YouTube each month, but it's not a lot. You might get like 40 quid, 50 quid one month. You might get petrol to fund a few of your trips. It's the aim isn't that really. I just like making the videos. It's like a hobby and a pastime. And as like the lads know that I've had 15 months of hell, which I can't go into and I can't speak about. But it's been a nice distraction from me, and it's a hobby and a pastime. And on the editing and stuff, it's being mindful, isn't it? It's a nice distraction.
It does.
Some of the comments on the right, some of the comments. Tony, you're getting compliments on your hat. Gary, MCM. Initially, Michael, Chris, and Matt. Walshy just lives around the corner from me, and we see each other a lot. But he doesn't have the time to come on overnighters at the moment. He's dad to be at the moment, so he's very busy. And with our working patterns, it's been tough. Similarly, Matt got two young lads. He lives Preston way. It's very tough. So that's why the channel pretty much has just been me. But when they can, it's now very rare that we all get time off together. Benny there, someone's told me to kill myself in the comments for saying he liked the Trangia cooking system. I mean, what an absurd comment to make. What an absolute balloon who's come out with that. And Natalie.
It's scary. That's scary.
Kill yourself because you like Trangia. Obviously, that's some kind of like 9-year-old in the the back of the mum's bedroom. Even Natalie there, random abuse DMs with a profile picture of an orange. Yeah, they hide behind the anonymity of social media. Like they'll make like Twitter, it's a cesspit. You make a fake profile with a fake email address. You can say what you want and get away with it. So,
just want to say, Paul Clark has come up. That's a nice comment. Chris, can I just thank you for your local walks? I'm sure that many like me have looked again at where we live. It's true. Yeah.
Well, that was
good walks. Yeah, really good walks.
I was thinking behind that because lockdown, we were all scratching our heads, weren't we? And when you go wild camping and hiking, well, you don't think, well, I'm going to stay at home. You look further afield. But I think for me, like lockdown has certainly focused my attention on get a local OS map. I'm known repeating myself, and I'll shut up. But like, look at your local trails, look at your public footpaths, and you'd be surprised. And like I've said, even people that live in cities, you've got your green spaces, parks. You can choose lovely routes for your cities, incorporate a bit of phone photography, make it interesting. Stop for a brew on your stove, and even if you live in an urban area, you've still got routes and green spaces and things to make your walk interesting, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. Outside is always better than inside, isn't it? Irrespective of where you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outside.
Yeah. The great outdoors,
Cool.
Idiots everywhere, it's true. It's true, Graham. Yeah.
Next.
Do you want to move on to your quiz?
Are we ready for the quiz? Are we?
Quiz time already, 25 minutes in. Can't be peaking too early here, Tony.
Oh, sorry, mate. Go on, let's go through some comments then.
Let's do that. Let's do that in a more.
Here's one for you, Joe.
Who's ready?
Tony.
I have absolutely no idea. Mac Pack, I have no idea. I definitely don't have one of them.
What's that?
The Mac Pack.
What's a Mac Pack?
That's Tony's comment.
My question.
I presume you know him, mate. Is he one of your mates?
I'm guessing he's a mate of my son. Clearly runs in the jeans.
Oh, man.
Well done, mate.
It's the noble charm, mate, isn't it? It's the noble charm.
Well, yeah.
And that's just salt sachet to sprinkle on.
Tony Gold.
I'm not too sure about this.
What the hell is that?
It looks a bit. Oh.
It's like something off Alien.
Look at the colour of it. Bacon. It smells like bacon.
Tell you what we haven't mentioned. We haven't mentioned Chris's giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
You need to...
right.
We need to...
It's bacon.
Yeah.
Right.
Very quickly, be concise. I struggle with that, as you know. I've made a penny stove. I'll cover my face because it's got it on focus on your face mode. It's a penny stove out of 2 craft beer cans. It works well. Tony's put the pictures up in the group. It's got a low. Hope it's not focusing properly. Sorry about that, but
that's all right.
It's a spirit stove. Fill it with meths, and then once you've lit it, you cover that top 4 holes or 5 in the center with a penny, and it blooms around the circumference of it. Just put 3 tent pegs as a bit of a pot stand with a windshield round. It's ultra light, really light, really strong. It's not going to compress down. It's pretty robust, and we'll even customize it for you if you've got any special requests.
Well, Chris is going to hand sign it, handwrite a certificate of authentication.
Well, if you want us to draw, if you've got the winner of this, if you've got a request for a hand drawing in the bottom of it, but no, it is good actually. Tony's put the pics up in the group. It works well. Yeah. Ultralight stove. It's great and it works well. So if you want to be in with a chance to win it, just write "I'm in" this comment section, and we will run hopefully when this feed is live, and the winner can.
Let's not get a bit technical here.
Well, we're going to try to. And whoever wins it, just send me an email and I'll post it out to you. A customized penny stove. So that's a nice personal touch there for someone who wants to win that. If you do, write I'm in the chat. Done.
See what happens.
Penny stove.
My random comment picker, Chris, didn't mention specific phrases.
Well, mate, well, whatever. We know Clark, he just said here, I'm in. So it'll help generate the comments. If you want to win it, you've got to say I'm in.
Hang on a minute. This guy, this imposter here, survived the bloody night. I'm in. What's all that about?
Who? Eh?
Who? Bloody hell. Remove that comment. Get him banned. Clown.
And you can't enter it, mate.
Get him banned. That? I don't know. Get him banned.
Oh, look at that. We're getting a few I'm ins now. Benny Mac wants I Love Owls on it if he wins.
Two big eyes.
Get
two big eyes on there, Benny.
I Love Owls. Anyone who wants to win it, I'll post it out. NER. Yeah.
Yeah, really good though. Really good. We were just talking before. What were you saying about 16 minutes of burn time?
Yeah, I've tested it. I filled it up with methylated spirits, and I got about 16 minutes burn time out of it.
That's
quality.
That.
Well, mate, with a windshield, it's more than enough to boil some noodles up, as I regularly do, or make a quick brew or a coffee or a hot drink out on the trail. So if you want to win it, just write I'm in, and whoever gets picked, we'll post it out. I'll post it out to you. Tony's got
guys. Whoever wins it, do us a favour, because I was asking Chris about it, whether he's actually cooked something as opposed to just boiling water with it, but he's not. But try and do some either bacon or some sausage with it. I'm just intrigued as to how whether it would cook. Say a sausage.
Look what Gary said.
Or bacon. You know what I mean?
Can you draw the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in it, Chris? Well, mate, I'll do what I think it is. Yeah, I'll have a go. Like Noble, what the hell's happened to your hat?
I'm glad somebody mentioned that, because my head is getting very hot.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna combust, mate. Well, right, so we've done the giveaway. Where are we up to now? Let's have some structure.
We're on to Ant's top wild camping quiz.
Are we? Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Here we go.
We've done
right. Okay.
Hang on. Here we go. There we go.
Okay.
Don't anybody say I don't know what I'm doing.
That's funny. That. Right. Okay. So we're up to round 3, and round 3 is name that tent. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So we've all got to name that tent.
Should be good at that.
Now, let's have a see. Okay. So, question 1: what are the tents that hang on a mountain called?
What?
What are the names? What are the tents that hang on a mountain called? So I'm presuming
I know what they are, mate.
Are the structured ones that come out that you sleep on?
Yeah, it's like a platform.
Cradle.
Yeah, rock wall. Like,
I know who'll know this. Rick will know this. Go on, Rick. I reckon he'll know it.
Have you seen the Netflix thing, the Dome Wall, mate? They sleep in them on that when they did. What's that place in Yosemite? That's it. The Dome Wall on. Is it El Capitan or
El Capitan? Yeah.
And they sleep on them. I don't know what the name is, but bloody hell, I'd be terrified on one of them.
Jack Osborne slept on it. He did El Capitan, didn't he?
Well done, Rob.
Rob Nash is on it.
What's it called?
First answer. Nash is on it.
What's it called?
Portalage Tents Nash. Straight there. Portalage Joe. Comment number
Simon.
2.
A portalage, yeah.
Yeah, mate, that's terrifying. What would you do, mate, if you sleepwalked? You've got to be like, you've got to clip yourself in.
You've got to clip yourself in, haven't you? But imagine that view. Oh,
can Can I just mention? What's his name? YouTuber. I love him. What's his name? Patrick Dickinson. When he slept by Allport Castle, he did a bivvy on the top of Allport, mate, and he clipped himself in case he rolled out in the night.
Oh, I've not seen that one.
Oh, mate, yeah.
But it was just basically a rope, was it, round his waist?
Shout out, Pat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Portledge, I don't know, but I'm going to go with the consensus.
Right, so we're going for that one.
Yeah.
Portledge, yeah.
I don't get this bacon bloody, what's it? It's so greasy. Oh, my gosh. I don't know whether I like it or not. I'm still eating it.
Get it down, yeah.
Right, okay, let's have a look.
Portledge.
Well, hang on. Here we are. What are they called? Mountain. Hang on a minute. Yeah, Portledge.
Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Who got that first? Fastest finger first was Rob Nash. He's got that one.
That was Rob. Nice one.
Well done, Rob, lad.
Nice one. Right, okay.
Portledge.
Go back.
Good.
Yeah, coming up now. Here we go. Right, okay. Question 2. What are the usually white tents often used for glamping at festivals called?
Bell.
Oh no, he's off. He's off.
Bell end. Bell tent.
Just Tony's off.
Jesus Christ.
We're having no stories tonight, and we're having none of that.
I'm going with Bell tent.
So Bell.
Yeah.
Chris is saying Bell tent. What about you, Tony?
A yurt.
I'm going to say TP. I'm just going to say TP tent.
Well done, Joe.
Joe Husband's on the air. Fastest finger is Joe.
I'm going to say TP.
Oh, we got 3 here.
Bonkersly expensive is what I'd call them.
You want to see the cost of some of them?
Are they actually saying? Are they actually saying usually white tents often used for glamping? So yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's got to be a yurt, hasn't it?
What's Julie's gone Bell as well. What's the difference between a bell tent and a yurt? Is it just phraseology?
About 500 quid.
You can't fit one of them in your back tent. In your backpack. Rob Nash is going with Bell.
Bell. So it's pretty. Yeah. It's pretty split between yurt and Bell. I've gone for TP. Yeah. I made on my own. Yurt has a wooden frame. All right. Okay.
Bloody hell, Benny.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
It's well on it. Used by the Mongolians.
Right.
Dan?
Obviously bigger. It's more of a family living quarters, isn't it, rather than an overnighter, a yurt. Would you say? I don't know. Look at that.
Look at Noble's platter.
This is noble. Look at that.
I've got nothing.
Mrs. N, well done.
Awesome, that.
I've also
Proudy.
got
Steve Prowse. Hi, all. All right, Steve. Right, reveal your answer, mate. Reveal your answer.
Are we doing it? Yeah.
What was it?
Okay. We're going to find out right about now. The Funk Soul Brother. It is. Okay, so what are the usually white tents often used for clamping at festivals called? Bell tents.
Oh,
Bell tents.
Have it?
It was one or the other, weren't it?
Mate.
Yeah, one or the other. Bell or yurt. Well done, guys. Who said
I've won my stove back.
Awesome. That. That is bloody good. Right, let me. Right, here we go.
1 minute comfort break.
You what? Sorry. All right.
Back in 1 minute.
Okay. Should we answer some more questions if we've got?
Yeah, let's get him in quick. He's gone. Quick, come on, quick.
Get some questions in before he's back.
All
pointing at Chris. Only Chris can answer one. Semi-detached in Sunderland. Hey, I tell you what, though, Gary, I've been looking at these fishing posts that you've been putting up on Instagram, mate. Flipping heck, absolutely awesome. Not seen many fish caught, but I've seen lots of massive ships. Jess Noble in the house is
Oh, my daughter. Hello, Jessie.
Yeah.
We all good?
Hi there. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. What's it called in fishing that, mate? What is it? I know you were saying it's a It used to be the biggest dock, or one of the biggest docks in England, Sunderland docks, weren't it? And you were saying you don't see many big ships and things like that. But I tell you what, flipping heck. Excuse me.
Gunship 74. Why is Chris talking into a berry black pudding?
Now, Gunship, are you from Bury by any chance?
Bury.
Bury.
Right, mate. I'm from Bury.
Oh my God. I didn't actually realise that were you then, Chris.
Right, mate. You okay? From Bury. From Bury Market.
Wow.
What's that one, Chris?
I'm on this. It's Donald Trump in a can.
Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, I've not seen that one.
Peanut butter.
Mate, I had it on our camp when we cooked wild octopus.
Did you?
Yeah. Remember?
I must have been well drunk by then. Let me have a look at that again.
Mate, you were fondling the Gransfors Brook Small Forest axe, and I was talking about Donald Trump bursting out of a can. Do you not remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't remember the can. I remember the quote there. Yeah.
From Bury. You can't beat berry black pudding, by the way. With a poached quail's egg on top. Poached quail's egg.
Around the corner from Chris. Right. But you've heard from Bury Black Puddings, or you've heard of Bury Black Puddings. Right. So what were we up to? 3, weren't we? What's the name of the tent that goes up in a few seconds? Cheap and popular at festivals again. I know this one.
Rhyme with hop up.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Right, 30 seconds, because that's going to be a quick one. 30 seconds, guys. What is it called? Cheap and nasty. It goes up within seconds.
Benny. Look what he said. I only eat pet octopus. Tony, you're getting some shizer off your daughter. Why are you wearing a hat indoors?
Nobody's noticed. I have a selection. This is my 3rd one.
He's like Beyonce. He changes every song.
Can I just say, Jess Noble, it's a thing. I do it as well. You know, when we're follically challenged, we wear hats.
I was finding, to be honest. Thanks, chicken. But I was finding that the light was bouncing off my head.
Mine just reflects off my glasses.
Yeah, well,
cheap tent at festivals. I'm saying Hilleberg, Namage, 2 GT.
I like 2.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Hilleberg, yeah.
What you giving name?
Yeah.
Hang on, I can't
North Face Mountain 25. Mountain Hardware Trango 2.
God, hang on.
Nice.
It's peanut butter and jelly. Water.
I had one of them up top of a vanilla in the teepee.
Right. Oh my word!
Here we go.
Brown pop up.
Yeah, it's just pop up tent. Yeah, we all knew it, didn't we? We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Joe, if you had any hair, I would watch it.
Okay. So, right, question 4. A tent that's low. I didn't get this one actually. A tent that's low to the ground, barely there, and just for one person.
Bivouac.
I'll let you know. I have read through them. I don't know the answers, but I have read through them to prepare myself because of that absolute disaster last time we did it.
I'm going Bivvy.
Bivvy. That's what I thought, but I weren't 100% sure. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Bivvy, surely. It's all Bivvy. Hooped Bivvy. Dwarf tent.
Bin bag.
What the hell is a dwarf tent? Who said that? Graham West. A dwarf tent.
I think you can. I think it's politically correct. You can actually say dwarf.
What about a cloche?
Yeah, I think you can, can't you?
A cloche.
What the hell's a cloche?
It's what you put over plants when they're growing in the winter to protect them.
How the hell do you know that, Chris?
CLOCHE.
A cloche.
A cloche, yeah. Any gardeners amongst us must have heard a cloche.
A cloche or cloche?
Cloche. CLOCHE. A cloche.
Yeah. What the hell was that? Nice. Oh my God, he's making cocktails, lads and lasses.
No book on the blackjack table. Mate, 50 quid on black.
That Paul, got to
James
be a
Bond.
Bivvy.
James Bond, yeah.
No, he's right, actually. Yeah.
We don't mess around in Blackburn.
Tent.
We're posh up here.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I get that. Let's have a look.
Cloche, yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Cloche.
Cloche.
Have Tony's skateboard. But where's Matt? What?
Your ice, mate.
I think. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Just says Bivvy tent. Bivvy tent.
Yeah.
So hoop bivvy. It's a hoop bivvy, isn't it? If it's a tent, it's a hoop bivvy. A bivvy is different, isn't it? A bivvy is literally a sleeping bag over your head, over your sleeping bag, innit? But a bivvy tent has got to be a hoop bivvy. To anybody who said hoop bivvy, I'd say, yeah.
Paul Clark just said cloche means bell in French, by the way. It's a cover. Basically, you put a cloche over plants to protect them from frost.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
French word.
Right. Question 5. A tent where the poles crisscross and intersect to form triangles.
Geodesic.
I wouldn't have a clue on this one, guys. I'm sorry, but I have no clue.
Final answer, geodesic.
Tony?
No, yeah.
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 Geodesic. Let's
Yeah.
see what everybody else says. 30 seconds, guys.
Come on, everyone.
I wouldn't even have a clue how to spell it, so I'm out of it. Geodesic.
Westy, Clarky, Dan, Benny Max on a Polish acrobat tent, Proudy, Rob Nash. I'm saying my money's on geodesic. Benny, I think Benny should win anyway. A Polish acrobat tent. Joe Husband, same. Andy D, a headache.
A massive headache. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Been there, done it many a time.
So what tent then?
Mate, you know the tent where it's where the poles cross over.
So at Hillyberg then, yeah?
You saw a small version, isn't it? Normally you have three. You have three poles, don't you? Solar's only got 2.
You know a tunnel tent, Hans? You've got
Yeah.
poles that go across the width of the tent, haven't you?
Right.
Those poles don't intersect. They don't cross over each other, do they?
Okay.
Yeah, they just go from left to right or right to left, whichever
so like
way.
A domed tent. We're talking about a domed tent.
Yeah. So the configuration of the poles in a domed tent are in a geodesic, and triangles, the strongest shape isn't it? Because it supports
Okay.
each other. So it's
And that's what-
geodesic.
Right, okay, fair enough. I'll settle for that.
A brown pop-up.
Yeah. It's actually called a geodesic, guys. Geodesic.
A what?
A
Theo.
geodesic. Yeah. Begins with D and then a G instead of the D. Geodesic.
That's bollocks, that, mate.
It's not. It says it here. It says it here. Oh, you can't see it.
Show it to. I'm not having that, mate.
No, you're right. You are right. Oh, God.
I don't want to crunch crisps into my microphone.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Oh.
We were up to that one. Right, okay. A tent where there's a larger, higher space in the middle section and then 2 sleeping compartments to each side. What is that tent called?
That's a tough one, that. Say it again. Really?
So, a tent where there's a larger, higher space in the middle section and then 2 sleeping compartments to each side. So basically, I'm thinking you're Nordisk. Kinda.
Mate, that's a tough one, that.
I haven't got a clue. I'm not very good at tents.
They're not going to say vestibule tent.
Semi-detached.
Vestibule.
Cabin tent.
Semi-detached.
Trouser tent.
Bungalow.
Big.
Yeah, massive. A trouser tent.
A family dome tent. That's what I was going to say, to be honest.
I don't know that.
What are the ones with the centre section in the middle, and then they branch off?
That's
What,
the question.
mate, there's loads. There's all sorts. Van Gogh.
It's a sport tent. A sport tent. Is that
mate.
a tent, Mick? I don't know.
I know what they are, but I didn't think there was a particular term for them.
Isn't hers?
Dan says big.
Big, massive tent that takes 3 hours to put up. Results in a divorce at the end of it.
I'm gonna go with Rob and say a family dome tent. That's all I can.
15 kilos.
And I'm sure when you go to Winfields of Haslingden, there are other places where you can buy tents. When you go to Winfields, it says a family dome tent.
We've all sat by on our chairs, mate, sipping a beer in our one-man easy pitch tents, watching families struggle across the campsite, swear at each other, a dog running around, pissing all over your legs, and just chaos unfolding. Mate, it happens every year in the Lake District. Whatever one of their
screaming, why did I buy a family dome tent?
I wanted to go to Spain.
They're screaming,
and we're here. When it's
I hate this family dome tent.
Yeah.
Let's
see what the answer is.
I hate this trouser tent. No. I hate this isn't hers tent. This 15 kilos isn't hers. No, maybe not.
Big.
I hate this big tent.
Yeah.
Right. We've gone through all scenarios there, I reckon. Okay, here it is. Are you ready? Oh my God. Vis-a-vis. It's a vis-a-vaz. A vis-a-vaz.
Really?
Oh, vis-a-vis. A vis-a-vis.
You serious?
Is it French? That? Is it French? Vis-a-vis.
It's not the real
vis-a-vis mean?
Vis-a-vis.
No, it's a vis-a-vis.
Mate, yeah.
V-I-S dash A with like a dash or whatever.
It's French term again. What the hell? Mate,
okay.
Whoever's written that answer, mate, is off their head. That's not the name of it.
A vis-a-vis. Let's have a look. Hang on.
I'm disputing that, mate. I've never heard of that. Vis-a-vis tents in Trail Magazine, a new section just being created.
Hang on a sec. I just need to know what vis-a-vis means.
Paul Clark says, yeah.
Let's see. Right, vis-a-vis in relation to, with regards to, in position facing a specific and impiled subject, or an implied subject even.
Yeah.
A person or group occupying a corresponding position to that of another.
Julie's got it right. Julie Gunning, face to face.
Face to face. Is that what it is?
Julie.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. A face to face meeting, Julie.
Julie, you won that.
About.
Right.
French for face to face. See Rob come in there, but Julie beat you there, Rob.
I'm going to go into Go Outdoors tomorrow and say hello.
I want to vis-a-vis.
Do you have any? Can you point me to your vis-a-vis section, please?
What a face-to-face section, Chris. Well, we're face-to-face now, Chris. What do you need? That's what they'll say to you.
I'm going to go into
if you were allowed to go in, though. Obviously, we're not.
Well, no, I'm going into George Fisher's in Keswick and saying, "Oh yeah, can you show me your vis-a-vis selection, please?" I'd say I'm going to get arrested.
Okay. So vis-a-vis, yeah, face-to-face. All right, face-to-face.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next question. Ooh. Hang on a minute.
Look what Benny said. Go in and act and just be there. The tens.
Chose a snake. Oh God.
Right, come on out. What's the next one? Come on.
It's maybe family. This. Come on now. It's never family when booze is involved.
My mum's watching this. Come on.
Sorry, Mrs. Noble. Sorry about that. Flipping out.
Do you sell trouser tents?
Tripod trouser tents. Oh God. Right, hang on. Let me just try.
Where's your trouser tent section?
Oh God. Hang on. Where were we up to? Right. Yeah. Okay. A tent that's popular with families and is long and generally the same shape.
Tunnel. What else do you know that's long and genuinely the same shape?
Stop it now. The average is 5.5 inches, isn't it?
Well, mate, what is long and generally the same shape? Nothing funny about it.
Tunnel. Everybody's saying tunnel. Well, we're saying everybody. Andy's first up.
Four-man trouser tent.
It's going to be a thing, this trouser tent. It's going to be a thing. We have to, in our next videos, we have to incorporate trouser tent. Chris is crying. Oh, God. Right, I go.
It's a stupid humour.
Okay.
Tunnel.
Right. Yeah, tunnel, guys, tunnel. So who said tunnel first? It was Andy. Andy D.
Joe said sausage. What's long and generally the same shape? Well, not in Cumberland's because it's a spiral. It's an inward spiral.
Okay, right.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I know this. Right, question 8. This tent does for spring, summer, autumn, and winter. What is it?
Hammock.
No. I'm saying 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
Yeah. 4 seasons, yeah. 4 seasons. I'd go with that answer.
Vivaldi.
4 seasons, guys.
4 seasons.
Lanchan 2 without a Paul.
Let's go with that.
30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh, for the time it takes me to pour this last drag of El Castro Diablo.
Yeah, we're all on 4 season.
Yeah.
And
are we ready? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I don't know yet. I'm just going to scroll down yet.
And he's got it. 4 saisons. 4 saisons.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Cuatro. El cuatro season. 4 seasons. Get in. 4 seasons. Okay.
Good tents.
I don't know.
Mountain 25, Trango 2, Black Label, Hillebergs, Terra Nova, Quasars.
Would you buy a Black Label solo, Chris?
Yep. If I had the money, mate, I would.
Never heard of it.
There's a whole new video on that. There'll be a whole video on that. A Black Label Hilleberg solo. It's basically, mate, it's a Hilleberg solo with the same, well, it's not, with stronger fabric and 1mm difference poles. I think the normal solo poles are 9mm and the Black Label is 10. Have I got that right, Tony? Probably wrong.
Yeah. It's
what, like 1mm difference, but don't, with the standard Hilleberg solo, you can double pole it. You can buy another set.
So what's the difference in material then?
It's like
material. Is it thicker? Or
I think with the solo, it's like curl on 1200 or curl on 1300. That's the tear strength. So I think it's like 13 kilograms or 12 kilograms, and then with the Black Label.
So it's nothing to do with thickness then. It wouldn't help you keep insulated. It's
got higher tear resistance, and the poles are wider diameter and therefore, in theory, slightly stronger. But you can just double pole. But I mean, I haven't got the money. But if I did have,
how much are we talking? Paul's saying how much?
They're not out yet.
50 quid. Graham's saying.
No. Graham's saying just buy the 10mm poles for your existing tent.
Oh, okay.
The price.
Yeah.
The standard solos go up now, mate, about 800 quid, 750, 800 pounds. I reckon the black label is going to be $1,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Would you buy a black label one though if you'd already got a red label one?
I was saying to Rick today, would you, if you had 800 quid, would you buy one? I'd love to have one, but I can't justify spending 800 quid on a freaking tent.
The only time I'll tell everyone that. I don't mind saying this. I got divorced in 2016, and as a bit of like, once I got over the hell of all that, I bought myself a treat because I love camping and wild camping. I thought, F it, I'm having one of these. And I put the tent on a credit card and I just paid it off. I didn't have 750 quid, but I just thought, you know what, being through a crap time, I'm going to treat myself to one of these. But then again, if I had 800 quid lying around now, not a chance in hell I'd be spending it on a tent. It's a lot of money for a tent.
It's a lot.
You don't need
quality, aren't they?
Well, they are, but you don't need to spend that much on a tent to enjoy wild camping in the UK. You don't need to spend that much money. You don't have to do it.
No.
The times that you need the sort of sturdiness of the solo is rare, isn't it?
Yeah, and so if you've got a Van Gogh Banshee, like a lot of beginner wild campers will get a Van Gogh Banshee or OEX, what is it, Bobcat, or some of the lower ends of the OEX. All that means is you've got to be a bit more careful in your pitching. I could pitch the solo on top of a Helvellyn, and with proper pitching, it'd stand up to anything. If I bought a cheaper tent, it just means I've got to be a bit more careful about where I pitch it, but it doesn't stop me going out enjoying wild camping.
Yeah. I mean, generally, anywhere, as you say, if you're going up a mountain and wind's hitting you, you're gonna come down to try and get out of the wind, at least to get a little bit of sleep. I'm not talking about what the tent would withstand. It would do, wouldn't it? But you wouldn't get much sleep. It wouldn't be much fun, would it? Although, having said that, I do like your overall that Pendle Hill with you and Walsh is still my favourite one. It's awesome with the wind. It's brilliant. And
that tent's retired now. It's in the loft because the fly sheet I went to use it again, and people on the Facebook group will know. And I went to get it down, and the fly sheet had gone on. It's like this tacky mess. It had like gone all sticky. But when I spoke to Mountain Equipment or Mountain Hardware, they said they don't make the particular version which I bought because it was many years ago, and it suffered from hydrolysis, where the chemicals used in the manufacture of the fly sheet have broken down, and there's nothing they can do about it. But I can't bring myself to throw it out, mate. There's too many memories.
You could still use it though. That's the thing. It's still protecting you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no difference in that way, is it?
I've got the North Face though. I've got that North Face Mountain 25. I'm going to start using that this year. So people who watch my vids will see the North Face Mountain 25 when we get to autumn, winter. I'm going to be using that.
Gary says, I paid 150 quid for my Wild Country Zephyros 2. It's brilliant. One day I'll sell the dog for a Hillyberg.
Well, Paul's saying you could buy 4 Cloud Peak tents for one solo.
Yeah,
and he's right. To be honest,
yeah, I want to see what you think of it, Tony. You know, when you're in winter, I want to see.
The Cloud Peak 2 is mint. It's out. The Cloud Peak 2 is a knockoff of the Alac 2, in it. It's a complete and utter rip-off. But
of what? Sorry.
The Cloud Peak 2 is a rip-off of the Hillyberg Alac 2.
Right, okay.
Which is like basically the 2-man version of the solo.
Right.
But this year, if I'm going in garage picking my tent, the one I'll go to first will be Cloud Peak 2. Definitely.
I like to see it in wind. You know, like in a bad storm.
Okay, have you watched my Helm Crag video?
Yeah.
He got an absolute battering on top of there. Absolute battering.
Yeah.
There won't be many conditions of much work that most people would go in. There'll be much worse.
But have you ever been in a proper, really bad storm where you think, shit, it's hit the fan here? Like, the only thing that's keeping me safe here is these poles and this fabric. Because I can genuinely say, without doubt, that time on Pendle Hill, I know I'm talking about it again. That was horrendous. I mean, that's no exaggeration. The wind there was horrific. There was no cover, and had we not been in that tent, it would have just been blown to pieces. I've got no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, and I've got to say, you're absolutely right. When I'm repeating myself, when I was at top of Helm Crag with Phil, I'm sitting there in my tent thinking, what on earth am I doing sitting in this cheap Chinese knockoff? I've left my Hillyberg at home, and I've got a camper van parked down at roadside, and I've chosen to come in this, AliExpress Chinese knockoff tent. Again, it was Storm Alex, so it was like 60, 70 mile an hour winds, blah, 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 blah. And it was getting a proper battering. That following morning, thinking like it was mint. It was absolutely mint.
No wrong with it.
Yeah, it literally stood up to it, no problem at all. It was mint.
What I'd like to get into is like the opposite end of the spectrum. So instead of the 4-season winter tents, what about for summer? Late spring, summer, early autumn use. The really light tents, like someone just mentioned, Steve Proud, the Lanshan 1. And I know they've tweaked the Lanshan 1 and the Lanshan 2. There's the Pro now. I've not done much research into it, but I would like to, for summer use, have tents whereby the poles are my trekking poles, and it weighs next to nothing, because the older you get, let's face it, we're not all like, Renhold Mesners. We're getting unfitter the older we get. So we like to get to the top a little bit easier. So I'd like to try out the likes of a Lanshan 1 or a Lanshan 2, but I've never done it because the whole AliExpress thing puts me off. I've seen bad news about, I've paid, I haven't received it, the customs charges, the import duties, that puts me off.
To be honest with you, I've used AliExpress for God knows how long, and I've never had a problem. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I have had a problem. I bought I bought a lifetime match for 50p, and it never turned up. So I'm fuming about that. Yeah, but other than that, everything fine that I bought from AliExpress has been bang on. You guys, you know, you watch my channel. I don't have that kind of money to buy ridiculous amounts of gear and things like that. I go for like military hardware and cheaper things, cheaper scaled things, you know. But I'll tell you if it's crap, and I'll tell you if it never turned up or not, you know. But AliExpress has never, I've never had any trouble with it. Never. I bought tents from it. I brought kettles from it. All sorts, knives.
Well, mate, on that theme, and looking at some of the comments there, you've got Steve Proud saying he's just got a Lancashire one, but he's not tried it yet. The quality's good. You got Joe saying he's fancy camping using a tarp and walking poles to rig a cover. You know, and you know, one thing that struck out to me, mate, was that when we did that camp last year in the woodland that you had use of, the DD 3x3 tarp with the one pole configuration in the center.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, mate? You turn that tarp, a 3x3 meter tarp in pyramids configuration, which you worked out. What is wrong with that? Why would that not be sufficient? You know, we talk about getting a Lancashire one. Well, that 3x3 meter tarp you can get from. I'm not just plugging military mark. We can get it for like what, 40 quid?
40 quid, yeah.
50 quid.
Yeah.
3x3 meter tarp. You don't have to get a DD one.
You don't have to get
anyone. But that configuration.
The only thing that I could think of is a lot of people. I mean, the Langshan 2 is about 90 quid, I think, on AliExpress. It's around about that price. You can get a 3x3 tarp for 40 odd quid, but it's if you want that open front. You don't have to have that open front. You can configure it where you'd shut it. But a lot of people don't like having an open front. They'll not get a lot of sleep. They'll think something's crawling in, especially if you're in the woodland. You know, and especially if you're up on Angletown when you've got the the thieving fox. You know, he wouldn't. And I have actually heard that story where, and I think Tony's going to bring this up as a question. But there was a guy who had an open configuration tarp or some sort of tent, and he was asleep in his sleeping bag, and he heard something rustling in his tent. And he peeked out of his sleeping bag and saw a fox there. So this fox had seen him looking at, and he said, I spent 10 minutes eyeing this fox up, not moving, thinking I was going to get bit. And then finally it rummaged a little bit more and then shot off. So that's the trouble that you've got. You've got an open face tent or tarp. Would you rather spend 90 quid on something that shuts down? You know, you've got a zipper and...
Well... And on that, I mean, let us know in the comments, like, because hopefully with these lives, you know, they're only as good as the interaction, aren't they? You know, we want one interaction, hopefully, in the comments. So, as Steve said there, you know, thinking critically, it's all well and good to have a cheap 3x3 meter tarp with a central pole, but you've got no inner. And as Steve says, well, when you're paying for the Lanshan, you've got your fly sheet and you've got the inner. The inner's got a waterproof base, it's got slightly bathtub sides, and it's got mesh. So when you get in there, in theory,
you've got a zip.
So if I get in a 3x3 meter DD tarp with one pole in the center, well, all the midges come in. I've got no protection whatsoever from bugs, midges, or anything like that. And essentially, I'm sleeping on the grass, aren't I? Unless I put a ground sheet down, you're just on the grass or the moors, and you know. The creatures from the Black Lagoon on the West Pennine moors, camping there in the summer, mate, the bugs and stuff coming out of the grass. I mean, I laugh about them on my bits, but it's nice to have that security of going into your inner. It's nice and dry. It's zipped up. You've got no bugs flying in. And whilst it will be a lot cheaper just to have the tarp as a TP tent, you don't get that. And what are those? What's the make, mate? That do those inners in the tarp tight tents, like sort of like handmade. So is it Ook Works? Double OK Ook Works. They make inners to order for various different types of tarp tents. I'm just rambling like I normally do on my videos, but I like the idea of ultra lightweight, but I don't like not having an inner to protect you against the elements, if that makes sense. I don't know what people's thoughts on that are. Let us know in the comments.
To be honest, I've always thought the same. It's like the tent that my lightweight tent that I use is my Alpkit Soloist, which nobody ever talks about, but it weighs a kilo. It's out of pitch first. It's a full blown tent. It's spot on. It costs £100. It packs down to nothing. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you never hear anybody talking about an Alpkit Soloist, but Lanshan 1s and 2s are all over internet. My Alpkit, well, that's the sense we went up Pendle Hill on. They were mint. You know, for the same weight that you a couple hundred grams more than a Lanshan. You're in a full blown tent.
Yeah, and then there's like bivvy camping, bivvying. What are you on there, Ant? But like bivvying, that it is ultra lightweight, and other YouTube channels. Paul Mesner, for example, he's tried out bivvies. I've seen lots of his videos in that, on that topic in bivvies. I've never slept in a bivvy, and I know the main sticking point is condensation. I know there's people in our group who are trying bivvy camps, but then if you're in a bivvy, it's great for ultra light, ultra compact, weighs next to nothing. But then that whole luxury of having your tent set up, being able to get inside, for example, making videos. I couldn't really make a YouTube video inside a bivvy because I've got material over me. I've got no room. If it's raining, you can write that off. That whole luxury of being able to having that space protecting you from the elements. Yeah. You don't get that with a bivvy because you're essentially sort of like sleeping in a bin bag. And whilst it does the job, it's not the most comfortable, is it? I've never done it.
No, to be honest, neither have I, and it's not something that has remotely ever appealed to me. It just hasn't. I like you say, you're sleeping in a bin bag, aren't you? All your gear's outside, and I don't know. For the marginal weight difference, like I said, the Alpkit's a kilo. It's a kilo. It's. I'd much rather have,
And the mic's off.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. No, I'm saying about the hoop bivvies. You get all your stuff. You get all your backpacker. What's it got? All down at the bottom. It all does fit in because they are quite big. Because you've got to support your full sleep system, haven't you? Especially through winter months if you do it. But you still, in reality, you still need a tarp anyway.
Yeah.
So why would you? Why? Well, I don't know. I would like to have a hoop bivvy, but that one that you give us, Tony, that is mint. But would
you really want to sleep on top of a mountain? Just in that.
No, but they're not. That's the thing. You can get 4-season bivvies where you can sleep out without a tarp, but you're meant to have a tarp with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're meant to sleep.
But by that time, your weight differential is getting marginal, isn't it? You might as well have a tent.
Yeah.
By the time you've took a bivvy and a tarp and your walking poles. You might as well just took a tent.
Yeah. You can. Yeah, it's not something that I would choose. I mean, that one that you give us, it's quite lightweight. It's lightweight material. It's waterproof-ish. Well, it's like a what's it called, isn't it? A lavoo.
Well,
So, if you treat it, if you stick it out in your back garden, you let the water hit it, it'll proof it up. Give it a few days or whatever, it'll proof it up. You're good to go. But as soon as you touch that material anyway, it's still it's gonna be wet. So you still need a cover over it.
That's a Gore-Tex bivvy, that mate. That's waterproof.
Yeah.
That's a Gore-Tex liner. That in theory you should be able to sleep anywhere and be dry.
And be dry.
Yeah. But would you want it?
Jacket and that lets water in.
Don't forget though, with a bivvy,
I wouldn't trust it. You need it.
But then you're dry. But then all your gear stashed outside, wet through.
Yeah.
But mate, on that with a bivvy, say for argument's sake, the three of us said, right, let's go on a bivvy camp, and we had next to nothing. Food, water, rucksacks, clothing. We had our bivvies, sleep mats, sleeping bags, minimal kit.
Yeah.
All we need between us is one tarp, which would cover the three head ends of the bivvy. So the head end where you're zipping and getting in. If we had a tarp with two trekking poles between us, you could set up a basic tarp configuration over the head ends. You could, in theory, be in your bivvies. It could be chucking it down outside. You can talk to each other. You've got your lanterns hanging from maybe a ridgeline from the top. So it needs a little bit more thought, but you can turn, I think, bivvy camps into, for example, if you go with your mates, even if you're on your own, take a solo tarp, an ultralight tarp, and just erect a low-level tarp over the top of your bivvy, and it turns into a little bit less like sleeping in a waterproof sleeping bag, doesn't it?
Like Tony said, you're putting the weight up, aren't you, every time? You might as well just take a tent.
Well, I don't know, mate, because I think if you've got a bivvy and one tarp between, say, two or three of you, I still think it's a lot less than a tarp, taking a full tent.
No, absolutely. If you're sharing that tarp between three.
But then again, let's be realistic. If you're taking a bottle of red wine and six cans of craft beer, what the F&L does it? Anything matter to us? Well, we take more beer than we do kit.
Yeah. And Joyce, mate, I've had, you think, you mess about with all your super lightweight gear, your sleeping bag, your mat, your tent, yada, 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 and then you cram it full of beers and camera gear.
Right. What do we want to do next? Because I'm going to get a glass of wine, and I think you've got about 10 minutes, haven't you, before you need to go? I'm going to do one about 9:45, guys.
What? Who's that?
I should be all right. 9:45. I'm watching the boxing. Pay for it, so I've got to watch it. Yeah.
Right. Do we do it quiz? And are we done with that? Have we got more?
No, we've still got another couple of questions. Yeah.
Crack on with that then.
Okay. Let's have a look.
You've got to do the giveaway as well.
Oh yeah.
Right,
we're nearly finished, guys. We've got we've got two more questions left. Yeah, okay. Two more questions. Right. Number 9. These tents are popular in the desert, especially a one-day rum in Jordan, for example. I have no clue.
A romp.
Rum. A romp.
A one day what?
A one day, not a one day. Especially one day rum. One day rum. Sorry, one day rum.
I'm saying yet.
It's got to be yurt then, has it?
I don't know. I'm going with yet, mate. Come on in the comments, everyone.
Yeah.
Bedouin, Benny.
That's it, Gary. Leon, how are you doing, buddy?
Cooking a goat over the fire, Bedouin.
Stop it.
Nice minted goat.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, I prefer an octopus over it. Cooking octopus over it.
That roadkill was lovely, mate, on that camp. The camper, it took me and Ant 3 hours to make a fire. The amount of smoke.
I'll tell you what, and I'll freaking throw. I'm swearing again. I'll throw the gauntlet down to anybody who could light a fire in that freaking condition. It was ridiculous, wasn't it, man?
It was.
Poor old Chris, he got a gob full of bloody smoke that wrecked him. His eyes were still red in the morning, weren't they?
Oh, mate. I think we were suffering smoke inhalation.
Yeah, it was rough. Really
Bedouin.
Rough. Bedouin. Yeah.
Julie Gunning is very consistent in her answers.
And your spelling is amazing.
Julie is very sensible, I think. Julie, she asked a question as well about.
I reckon Julie's a teacher.
Can I just obstruct the flow here?
Yeah.
Julie asked, I remember from the comments, a good family tent. Julie, I would recommend a Van Gogh Equinox or bloody hell, what Van Gogh Omega 350 or a 450. Yeah, I'm just thinking off the top of my head for what you said, your question. I'm just going by memory, but yeah, Bedouin.
Okay,
I'm going with Bedouin.
Look at Bulldog. Look at Bulldog Badger's answer.
I remember.
I can't read it out. It was.
Cheers, Damien.
Right. Reveal
you. We're all going for Bedouin.
Bedouin. Right. Okay. Hang on.
Yeah, Julie. Van Gogh Omega 350. Have a look at that. Otter's Pocket.
Come
on,
guys. I'm trying. The questions are at the bottom of the picking. What's it called? So just bear with us.
Lost it.
I have lost it. I've totally lost it. What are we up to?
Oh, stupid candle.
That's not it. That's not it.
I'm going to try and relight my candle.
Relight my fire. Come on, yeah.
I feel sick now of eating that much.
Oh, I thought you were about me singing.
Eat more then. Come on,
right, hang on. I'm
trying. I'm walk in the morning.
I am trying. Right, here we go.
Everyone,
it's Bedouin. Let's just say it's Bedouin.
We've got some horror stories to come soon as well. So anyone that's scared, better start watching.
Right, okay, hang on. Right, 2, 3. Right, we're on 3. Here we go. That was our work. Yeah, Bedouin. Yeah.
Right,
okay, we've got one more question left.
You'll be pleased to know.
We needed to know, guys. We needed to know. We can't just surmise it would be Bedouin.
Well,
right, here we go. Last question. Here we go. Oh yeah, the folklore. Right. Okay. Question 10. This tent is traditionally used by indigenous people all over the world.
Wigwam. TP.
Wigwam, I'm gonna make you my girl. No. Winter sledding.
Winter
sledding, innit?
No, Gary's asked, is it a Yankee candle? No, mate, I'm skint. It's a fate one. It's a home bargain special.
TP. Steve's going for TP. Bulldog.
TP.
Wigwam. Benny's gone for wigwam. Oh, actually, yeah, you know, Benny's double wigwammed it. Has he? No, he's not.
Indigenous peoples throughout the world. Is it?
TP. I said TP.
The TP of love.
TP.
30 seconds.
Top.
We was in a TP of love up on Pendle Hill.
You ended up with a
trying to power the witches.
Bin
Come
bag.
on, Anne. Annie, are you okay?
Bin bag.
Come on. Are you okay? Yeah, no, it's not worked, has it?
It's failed.
You were all meant to say, Annie, you okay? You okay, Annie? Nothing.
Right. What's the answer?
Tumbleweed. Freaking tumbleweed. That's the answer. Here we go.
Tough audience, mate. Tough audience.
You ready? It was, wasn't it? I can't believe that. I'm sure people will,
what was it?
Say in chat, Annie, you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Here we go. Bedouin. Yeah, we've had that. Yeah, traditional. The 10. Yeah, all right then. TPR or TPs. It's two spellings. TIPI or the TEEPEE. Whichever bloody one you want.
Wigwam.
You guys were right. Paul, you're wrong. You spelt it wrong. TEPE. Right. You put. It should be double E's everywhere, Paul. Come on.
Tony.
Oh gosh.
Chris, you've thrown a spanner. How am I doing this now?
Paul.
Find out who's won this stove, mate.
He's thrown a spanner in the works.
Well, I've not thrown a spanner. You've known for like days that we're going to give away a stove, and now we're doing it.
But then you went rogue and said I've got a random comment picker, not a random comment picker. They say a specific word.
Right.
Well, how do I do that?
Right, hang on a minute. Let's fix it. Is everyone happy if we just pick someone in a comment thread? Does everyone think that's fair? Give us a yes.
Listen, guys. If Annie's okay, with it, I'm happy with it.
Is everyone
Annie,
happy?
Okay?
Mate, Tony, just pick a comment. Let's just presume everyone who's in is in. If you're watching this, mate, you're in with a chance of winning it. Whoever's commented can win it.
You've not commented, Leon. You've come in halfway through. You're not in it, Leon. You're not in any of this.
Hurry up, because I need a wee.
It's saying I said it might not work with live stream. You didn't listen. Nobody listened to me. It's now saying that our YouTube comments are disabled.
Tony, just get on with it.
I am distinctly open to suggestions, lads.
Look above you, clown.
I'm open for the suggestion.
Right. I've got an idea. How many comments have we got here? Pick a number.
Me.
Someone pick a number between like 1 and... Is 50 fair enough? And scroll down.
Yeah, I reckon.
Is everyone happy with this? Just for like transparency. If you can't find a comment picker, I'm going to pick someone in the comments now to choose a number between 1 and 50. And whoever we pick gets the stove. Is that fair, everyone? I think it is.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's do that. Yeah. Let's do 1 and 50. So I'm going to pick. Let's pick. I think Julie Gunning has been very sensible, hasn't she, in the comments? So if we say Julie Gunning, pick a number. Julie, pick a number, Julie, between 1 and 50. Right?
Julie just said pick me. You can't do that.
No, we're not going to pick her. She's got to pick a number.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Because she might just count down. Pick a number, genuinely. Well, I don't know.
I know your way of thinking, Chris. I get the way you're thinking.
I can't.
I like it.
Oh God, I can't do it.
She's the only normal person here.
He's pick number 12.
12. Okay. So what we're gonna do now?
It's Leon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I make the 12th comment, Leon Constantine at 0907. Tell me if
Leon's won it.
Tell me if I got it wrong. I can't get
Why
involved.
is that what you're saying? I mean,
Julie
you're
picked the number because I said to Julie, pick a number.
Julie's picked a number. I get you.
Yeah,
I get you. Right, okay.
12, and I make the 12th comment, Leon's.
Seriously, Leon won it.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
hang
double
on.
check it. Count 12 in from the start
Hang
of the
on.
comment.
I'm just saying, Leon wins everything. I'm sick of Leon.
Yeah, well, you
coming on here, eating our women, sleeping with our food.
Julie's comments.
He always does it.
If Leon's won, Leon's won. If it's Julie said number 12, whatever the 12th comment is, in my view, that's it. It's won.
I bet it is.
Count
Eating
Tony. Tony, you're the host, mate. Show some leadership.
Eating our women, sleeping with our food every time Leon does it. Every time.
Come on, let's get this winner announced.
Well, if we've announced Leon, it's going to be Leon. We can't give him and take it away. That's just not fair. Is it?
I don't agree though. I don't think Leon deserves it.
Right, I'm going to Lou.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll have it.
Just give 12th comment wins.
Leon's going to be screaming at the screen. And shut up.
Yeah, sorry, mate, you can't have it. We've decided.
If that's how it's worked, Leon's got it. Leon is a proud owner of the penny stove. That was different. That's never been done before. So yeah, no, it's a win.
You see, Jessica is quite clearly the brains of the family. She sorted it out.
Why? What?
Everyone comment yes, then count the comments and pick a random number, and whatever number comment, it wins.
Yeah, but we've already said Leon wins now.
Yeah, why not? But we'll just bin him off.
Are you happy with that, Leon? Leon's the winner. Julie said Leon's the winner. Leon, you are the winner of the penny stove, dude. Everybody, round of applause. Awesome. Julie says, oh, man. That was a wet, wet, wet song, wasn't it? Julius. No, it's Julia. It's not Julie. Julia says, on about.
Who does Julia subscribe? Says, is it you, Ant, or me, or Tony? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Julie.
Julia's just appeared tonight, I think, and I love it because she's commented. I think we should give Julie that Hillyberg of one of you guys that you were giving away.
Yeah, Chris is that
right?
Yeah, Chris.
Julia wins the Hillyberg, guys. Wow, Chris, can you also pay the postage and packing?
Did we mention Leon lives in Canada?
Timbuktu.
Julie subscribes to MCM. Julie, thank you. You know what? Make 30.
Oh, God.
Let me just check. Julie, do you live in the UK? Because if you live in the UK, I'll just send you my other penny stove. I made 2.
No, it's not. It's Leon who's got your penny stove.
No, he's won 1. I've got 2. I made 2.
Oh, you've got 2?
Julie, do you live in the UK? If you do, I'm just going to send you the other one. I've said it now. That's it. I'm just going to lose
the best stream ever.
Julie, do you live in the UK? Hurry up and write in the comments, yes or no. Do you live in the United Kingdom?
I need some news.
I'm not. If you live in Japan, I'm not posting it to you. Julie, do you live in the UK? You've got 30 seconds to reply yes or no. If it's a yes, I'll send the other one to you. Forget it.
Oh man, this is class.
30 seconds from now. I'm watching.
There is no.
There you go. She got in there. Right, Julie, you've won the other penny stove. And I'll send that one to you. So, right, Leon.
We might get lost.
Leon, email me, MCM Outdoor Show, or what's my email address? I can't even speak. MCM Outdoor Show at yahoo.co.uk. Julie, the same, MCM Outdoor Show. In fact, I'll type it in the comments myself, and I'll post them out. So Julie, Leon, winner. Julie, runner-up. Just because I'm such a kind YouTuber,
Awesome.
I just decided to give my one to you. So there you go.
Well, I'm putting my jet boil up and I'm giving it to Gary.
Yeah. Tony, you're
Gary, you're having
is that right? Hey.
What?
Oh man, this has been funny tonight. Oh God.
Can I win Tony's van?
Leon's. Hang on a minute. I'll just show Julie Hare's weight.
Did you just say you're going to show Julie's weight? She ain't going to be happy with that, Chris.
Here we go. Leon's. Julie's. There's two of them.
Interacting.
2 penny prizes. So remember that. Spread the word.
I'd let you do that she wanted.
I'm gonna have to make another one of these now. That took me, but it took me a while. What the hell have I done? Oh well.
It's another video, mate. You get them videos up.
Just watch it. Here's his video. He'll show you how to make one. He did it.
Right then, that's the giveaway done. Moving on. So Julie, Leon, email me at the channel email address. We'll get them sent out to you.
That is awesome, guys.
Well done, Chris.
Well
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What a good laugh. That was funny, that. Oh, man.
Right, what are we on to next? What are we on to next?
Well, I've got 5 minutes and I need to go and watch.
And can you believe that Ant is leaving the live stream to go and watch someone punch someone? What the hell are you playing?
We never dropped out on your stream, Ant. I think this is very.
Yeah, but you guys, did you guys pay 20 quid for this fight?
Well, he's a disgrace.
It was in the diary, mate. You knew when the live stream was happening, mate. You need to get your priorities sorted.
I've nothing to say to that. I can pull my guitar out. Do you want
you've an audience. You need to sort of.
Oh no! Okay, I tell you what, Ant. Before we go, I'm going to put you on the spot, mate. Tony, put the weird scenarios.
Oh, hang on. I'm on it. Hang on. There we go.
Right, here we go. You ready, Ant?
No. What's this?
Silence.
Where's this come from?
Silence.
Tumbleweed.
You are Ant to you, Ant. You're camping solo in a woodland.
Yeah.
You get out your tent to go for a slash and answer this as seriously as you can. All jokes aside. 2 a.m. Unzip your tent, get out, and there's a wolf staring at you 12 foot away, red eyes, massive teeth, saliva dripping from its fangs. What do you do? Don't laugh. I want your serious answer. How you would react. No, mate, I'm not laughing. How you would react in that situation and why.
Well, you know what we.
The floor is yours.
The scary thing is, I thought you was going to say you was unzipping your flies and there was a woman looking at you.
You can't joke about it. Be serious.
Okay. That's what I really thought he was going to say.
No.
You've undid your flies and there's a woman looking at you. What are you going to do? It's pretty easy, that question.
But
seriously, okay. So I've got out the old Banter, and I've gone for a wee, and I see a wolf looking at me. What would you do? Would you, depending on which country you live? Although having said that, can I just say now, right? I didn't mention this on the last stream, but the UK is deciding to. It looks as though we're gonna bring back in wolves, and we're gonna bring in lynx as well in 10 areas in the UK.
So the introduction of beavers.
And I need
I'm
to
trying to be serious here.
Bring you back to the question. What would you do?
I'd get right. I can't joke about this.
Don't be serious, mate. You're on your own. And like you get out your tent, you hear this noise, and your head starts moving in the dark. There's a wolf staring at you, and you're like, "Shit! How do you react, and why?" All serious.
I would react as in I'd get on my knees, and somebody's trying to text me answers here. I'm not having it, Leon. I'm not having it. I would get on my knees. I wouldn't look at it in the eyes, and I'd back away slowly, going like that on my knees. That's what I'd do.
Right. Number one, why would you get on your knees?
To show that I'm not bigger and bolder than that.
So you're being submissive.
I'm submissive. Yeah.
What does this show to the wolf?
Well, if you met a Sasquatch,
sorry,
in the same scenario. Right? Guys, I'm being serious here. You're taking the piss out of me.
What's
right?
this?
What I would do is I would put my palm out. Yeah. If it was a Sasquatch, I'd put my palm out like that. I wouldn't look it in the eye. I'd just put my palm out and I'd back up slowly. And then everything would be all right. Get back in my banshee and go to sleep. But that's what I would do with the wolf attack. Potential wolf attack.
Right. Okay. Next one. Last one. And it's going to be for you, Ant. Bear in mind your time scale.
Boxing.
You're walking from Great Hill all the way back to Winter Hill. Your car's parked Winter Hill. You're on the way back from Great Hill.
Okay.
It's getting dark, misty, limited visibility. You hear a horrible growling sound from the moors, mate. You look to your right and you see what appears to be some kind of werewolf stroke berry type creature, red eyes. What would you do and why?
Do I have a weapon on me?
No, mate. No. Serious, as though you're hiking, you're faced with that situation. What you do and why?
Do we have a Chris with me or not?
You're on your own.
I'm on my own.
You're on your own.
And there's a werewolf.
What you think to be? Bearing in mind the stories we've heard about that area.
Right, potentially, if there was a werewolf and I was on the moor, if I stuck to the path, which we. On the way back from Winter Hill to the car park, there is a path. There's a continuous flag path. If I stuck to that path, nothing could get me. I'm right, aren't I? If you stick to the path, that's what they say in American Werewolf in London. If you stick to the path, nothing will happen. Stick to the path, lads. You'll be all right. Oops.
Don't stray from the path.
Exactly. Oops.
What was the name of the pub in America? Was it the Slaughtered Lamb?
Slaughtered Lamb.
Oh, don't stray from the path.
So I would be all right. I would be on that path. So no werewolf could touch me. There you go. Done.
So you could just do a wee in a circle. I think someone's saying just mark your territory, mate.
No, you need what's it called? You need salt for that, guys. Put some salt down around you.
Get the gritters out. Gritter.
Weird scenarios, guys. That is a weird scenario.
Right. You're watching the boxing, mate. You're leaving this quality content behind. Look at all my post-it notes in this book.
I love this book as well. This is my favourite time, guys. This bit is my favourite.
You, Ant.
You are?
Can I come and watch the boxing with you?
This isn't Tony's favourite time because he knows full well that he starts laughing and giggling. He can't help himself. No,
we're not ready yet. We're not just ready for nighttime towers yet because you're night capping us.
I embarrassed myself last time. I showed myself up, to be honest.
We're gonna talk. Yeah, well, Tony and I, Ant's watching the boxing. Tony and I are going to stay on for a bit. And then if you've got any proper technical questions about wild camping,
while I'm not here, it's
we'll be
the
happy
best time
to
to answer.
Paul Medson will be along later. He'll be able to answer them for you.
Yeah. So we'll give it 15 minutes or so when Ant's watching the boxing. And we'll get into really technical details. And if anyone's got questions, because Tony's into his photography, this is obviously if you've got questions about technical gear, cameras, frame rates, editing videos, this is like 15, 20 minutes. Let's get into us for technical things, and we'll give you any tips about video editing. But Ant, enjoy the boxing.
Awesome.
I'll see you. You coming back?
I'll tell you what, if it's a round one knockout, I shall be back.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it on. I'm going to leave the stream on. You'll see the fridge and the printer at the back. And if I come back, you know full well that boxing is a no-no. All right.
Right.
Hey, listen, guys, thank you so much for coming on. And please subscribe to this awesome guy who is on my... There we go. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Your camera's all out of flunter. So this awesome guy, he's hosting the channel tonight. So go and sub to his channel, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, are we doing the next one?
We'll see you in 15 minutes.
Okay. We'll do a next one if it's backed by popular demand.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? Like. Should we put a vote up in the group?
We'll put a poll up. Yeah.
No, because they'll vote no. We're coming back anyway, whether we like it or not.
Right, guys. Right. Thank you so much. Been awesome. See you all later.
See you in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it on. Just put it on mute. See you in a bit. Bye.
See you later.
Right, Tony, mate. Get these screens a bit bigger.
Right, come on.
Tony's going to have a play around the screens. This is like opportunity. No, not really.
No. Well, see, we've got Ant on there. We need to drop Ant out of the stream now.
Yeah, okay. So
still there. He's still floating. I can still see him.
Right. So I can see one question already off Paul Clark. Whatever you want to know about editing, videos, uploading, YouTube, making videos, camera equipment, what I use, what Tony uses, ask us now and we'll help you out.
That'd I'd enjoy that. That'd be good.
If it's all right, Tony, I'll start with Paul Clark's. Or you love some of the music on my, he says, love some of the music on my vids. Do you have any copyright issues with YouTube? It's a good question, and one which many people who are uploading videos to YouTube face. Most music is copyrighted. Most new music that you listen to on the radio, in the charts, blah, 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 is copyrighted. Someone owns the rights to that track. And obviously, YouTube is very strict in terms of what you can play. Basically, you can have up to 10 seconds of music, copyrighted or not. So, say, for example, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, I can play up to 10 seconds of that track in my video without incurring a copyright strike on YouTube. However, to go beyond that, which you would in reality, you need to have copyright-free music available to you. So, number one, cost-free option, which I used to use when I was first making my videos, is to use YouTube Audio Library, which is Creative Commons free, i.e. copyright free, and there's some cracking tracks on there which I use a lot. Tony uses it, so there's some really good artists make their tracks available for free on YouTube. Just search in Google for YouTube Audio Library, and what you will find is budding creators, talented creators who are trying to get established on the scene will try and start by offering their work for free, and you will get some quality tracks by virtue of the fact that those artists are trying to up their profile by starting at the bottom, making it available to us for free. Some quality artists on YouTube for absolutely nothing. So number one, for free, YouTube Audio Library. you've got a bit of searching to do there. You can search genres, you can search moods and stuff like that. Number 2, step up from that is when you pay for a subscription service. Now, what I use now is a website called Epidemic Sound. They have loads of artists, which they pay, obviously, and I pay. It's £10 a month, and I get to use. I have to put my YouTube channel into my account. That obviously covers the copyright issues for me. It covers the license issues, and they have a wealth of tracks, wealth of artists, wealth of soundtracks, moods, genres. It's classified into it all different sections. It's really, really good. It costs £10 a month for me to pick the audio tracks I use for my YouTube channel. So I would say if you're just starting off, it doesn't really make sense to pay to have access to a huge audio library. But if your YouTube channel is making a little bit of money a month and you can surpass that, so the outlay for having even more tracks and sort of creativity at your fingertips, it might be worth the £10 a month if you're making a little bit more than that to have that options available to you. So that is my very long-winded answer, hopefully comprehensive in respect of audio. Tony?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I do exactly the same. So I've literally just subscribed to Epidemic. Sorry, Chris, I did that literally the day after you told me. But yeah, so the YouTube Studio, there is stuff on there. There most definitely is stuff on there. It's just having to wade through lots and lots of stuff just to find those hidden gems, and then to find the stuff that other people haven't used as well. So I literally, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, I started subscribing to Epidemic Sounds myself. But then by the same token, I've also found that the tracks that I'm picking, I'm seeing on other people's videos as well. But yeah, so it's either, you know, there's also websites, isn't there? There's YouTube channels that offer free music. Like I say, YouTube Studio, but I'm the same as Chris now. I'm using Epidemic. Because I just want to make, for the sake of £10 a month, I want to try and make my videos as good as I possibly can. You might not like the content, you might not like me, but at least they're as good as I can possibly make them. That's as good as I can do.
Right, Tony, your daughter Jess says, what made you start on YouTube? So if I answer that first, I started walking, climbing, hiking when I was about 13, 14. I used to borrow my dad's camcorder and just make short videos and put them together on my rubbish PC in my mum and dad's house. So it was sort of a video diary, if you will, of like times that I enjoyed. And I carried on doing it. It's a big gap. Life takes over. And then I just started paying more attention to sort of YouTube when I got into my like late 20s, early 30s. And then I thought, well, you know, all these people are like making videos. Why don't I do that? And my initial impressions were just to make it as a video diary, just to document memories for when I get old and grey and I can't get up mountains anymore. You know, at least I can look back on the times I've done. So instead of just writing a bit of a diary, I thought, well, I'll document my adventures outdoors so that I can look back at them one day when I can't physically get up there. And that is what made me start on YouTube, really. And then it's grown from there, and that doing that has led to a little bit of a growth and hopefully helping others to do the same. So what about you, Tony?
Me, same. But I'm a very nerdy, techie kind of person. I like messing with the gadgets. I like messing around with cameras. And I was going out walking and camping anyway. Well, I wasn't camping. was going out walking anyway. I'd always wanted to go camping. And it just seemed, it all just kind of all fit together. It was just a marriage made in heaven. So I could sort of use all my nerdy sort of camera gear. It was an excuse to go out and go camping. And I'd have all the videos would be there in perpetuity for Jessica and everybody else to see as and when. It just seems like to me it was just the perfect partner to the wild camping hobby. You just recording what you were doing anyway, and it gives you the additional motivation to go out and do it a bit more.
Good answer, mate. Moving on to Joe, husband. Tony, I'm going to field this one to you, mate. What device do you use for time-lapse videos, and would a simple phone work at night? Well, no. I know what I'd say to that, but I'm going to leave that with you, mate.
No, no. I'm saying no. That's a lie. You can time-lapse on your phone as long as you've got a intervalometer app. Which there's plenty out there. Just use intervalometer. Put your phone into pro mode. Take 15-second exposures at ISO 1600, 3200, something like that. Use an intervalometer, and that will then just take you however many shots you want. So set your shutter speed to 15 seconds, have a 20-second interval, and just let the camera run for hours. And yes, you can most definitely do it on your phone.
Yeah. And what I'd say on that as well, like I am again going back to like 2016 when I got divorced. I happened upon a YouTuber called Casey Neistat, pretty famous YouTuber, very talented filmmaker and storyteller. And he was great at telling stories and vlogs, and he's very inspirational and he's very creative. He used to film a lot of his time lapses, which were like typical Casey time lapses, just with his iPhone. If you've got an iPhone, I've got an Android phone. I've got time lapse settings on my Android, but just the auto time lapse settings on your phone. Hopefully, or you might agree, Tony, you get good results even if you set up a time lapse on your phone. What you need, to be fair, Joe, is a tripod. There's no point having a time lapse if your hand's holding your phone. You can't do it. But you can lean your phone against something. You can look out across a view. And then it all depends on the interval. 2 seconds, 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And the easiest way of describing it is if you've got clouds it's a windy day and you've got clouds moving at a fast rate, well then to get an effective time lapse, you need a lesser gap between those shots which your phone's taking, because the sky's moving so quick on its own. If the clouds are still and moving at a really slow rate, you're going to want to widen the gap between the time that your phone takes those pictures or the video segments and stitches them all together. So typically fast moving scenes, you need a smaller gap, and slower moving scenes, you need a wider gap to capture the difference in movement. So I think modern phones, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, at night, they've got some cracking software in, like, for example, I use a Galaxy S25G. Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, use a S20 Ultra 5G. There's newer iterations of those phones out now, which the images those phones can produce are outstanding. So you could get away with some really good handheld shots at night just with a handheld mobile phone.
Yeah, but to get you're absolutely right. To get individual images on a phone, you can definitely get images that you would not be able to tell any difference between that and a full blown SLR. Absolutely. But to get the secret with a time lapse, if you're doing it during the day, you just need to fix your exposure. So set your time lapse up, let the camera do its stuff, but just hit the screen and fix the exposure. Otherwise, what you'll find is, as the time lapse is running, the camera meters the exposure for every frame, so the exposure will change in and out for every frame, and it looks flickery. Whereas if you literally just press the screen, lock the exposure on that first frame, the exposure will be the same all the way through. It'll look a lot smoother. Nighttime time lapses, whilst your camera will do a cracking job at taking an individual night image, there is no real automatic setting for doing night time lapses. Your phone can most definitely do that. You just need a bit more geeky knowledge. You need to use a couple of separate apps, and you're just doing it manually. So you're just going to take lots and lots of those cracking images that the phone can take at night, and then using separate apps to stitch them together and turn them into a time lapse. But you can most definitely do it.
So Joe,
do it itself.
Hopefully that answers that one. Gunship 74 Gundog. Chris, would you ever consider a Fjordravn tent? Yeah, I would. I've not tried one. They look really good. From what I've seen, they look great. I haven't got the cash to buy anything at the moment, but I would consider it. So that's the answer to that one. Julie Gunning underneath. Do you need a license for your drone? Me and Tony can both answer that. You don't need a license as such, but you need to satisfy certain tests according to the Civil Aviation Authority. So it's a bit woolly, to be fair, the legislation. It depends on the weight of your drone at the moment. So you have to take and pass a certificate of competency for most drones, especially if they include a camera, which, for example, on this platform, they would, because we're filming the scenery. So, number one, yes, you have to pass a test to get a certificate of competency from the Civil Aviation Authority, and you will get a flyer ID and an operator ID. Going beyond that, and it's very technical. I won't get bogged down by technical details. I bought a Mavic Pro years ago, and that is now no longer categorized by the new legislation. So it sits outside of that. So it's dependent on where you want to fly the drone. If you want to fly the drone over built up areas, residential areas, industrial areas, if it's above a certain weight, 250 grams, you need to pass a certificate of competency, and you need to get a flyer ID and operator ID. If your drone is above a certain weight beyond that category, you need to get what's called an A2 certificate of competency, which might cost you a couple of £100 to legally fly it within those boundaries. If you've got a heavier drone, but not up to a certain weight, and you're flying it miles away from other people and buildings in the countryside, you're fine. But you still need a flyer ID and an operator ID. The best advice I can give to anyone considering a drone at the moment would be, for example, to buy a DJI Mini 2. That is because at this moment in time, it's unclassified in that, number one, it's got no markings on it from the EU who stipulate that after a certain date, it must be marked with certain C1, C2, C3. I don't want to get too technical, but it's in a bit of a grey area. So if you buy that drone, a DJI Mini 2, it's tiny, can film in 4K. It's 249 grams, so it sits under the classification weights. So you can fly that drone in theory. Well, not in theory. You can take off from your back garden. You can fly it over people. You can fly it over built-up areas. And there's no restrictions whatsoever. Not that that should be abused or you should take the pay out of that, but you've got a 4K drone there which you can use within any imaginable parameters. So yeah, drones are legislated for. You've got to pass certain tests. You know, you can't just turn up Heathrow Airport if you had some like malicious intent and fly. You know, for example, I've been at Matt's previously, pre-lockdown, and I've tried to take off and I can't because DJI's technology is such that it's geo-fenced. So I couldn't even take off the drone. They live near to Wharton aerodrome, and I couldn't even take off. The technology is such now that it's so safe that it's very hard to do anything wrong, isn't it, with drones, to be honest, Tony? So
yeah, well, there's the big database, isn't there? But essentially, where you know, where the drone knows that it's not allowed to fly, and whether you like it or not, it just won't. But essentially, isn't it? Simplistically, you don't need. You need to pass. Let's say, keep it simple. You need to pass a simple multi-choice test, and you can't. You know, you need a license depending on what you're going to do with it, where you're going to fly it, and how much it weighs. And there is no simple answer because it is super complicated. It is depending on the weight, what you're doing with it, where you're flying it, and what you're going to do with the footage. Depends on what you need to do.
Question to you, Tony, from Benny Mac. Tony, are you a professional photographer?
No, unfortunately, I'm an accountant, mate. I'm an accountant. No, I wish.
Joe, husband, the Fjallraven Abisko Dome looks a belter. It does. Paul Clark, thanks. Leon, have you tried SoundCloud? Might have stuff on there too. Yeah, I have. It's quite hard to find tracks copyright free on there, to be fair.
Yeah, it's copyright.
Damien, like the recommendations. So, Tony, you answer that first. Leon, apart from camping photography, do you have any other passions? Tony?
Camping photography. I like my camper. I like my van. I like my vans. I've got a bay window that I'm about to send off to be restored, hopefully. So at some point in the future, you might be seeing that. So I like my VW camper vans. Outside of walking, camping, cameras, I haven't really got a lot of time to do anything else, to be perfectly honest. Chris?
Camping. So, any other passions? I love the weather. Love severe weather. Tornadoes, thunderstorms, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, my little ones. General knowledge, nature, wildlife, all that kind of stuff. To be fair, they're my passions.
See, that's the thing that annoys me. When I go out and about, and I wish I knew more about what the wildlife was that was around me, because I don't know anything.
Yeah, that's what I grew up watching like Wildlife on One, and that was it. You know, I had like grandparents that knew a lot about weather, plants, birds, taught me things and kind of passed it down to me. And then, you know, I remember kitchen dining, and I've got bookshelves over there full of weather books, meteorological books, wildlife, plants, flowers, trees, mushrooms. It's a bit of a geek in that respect. I always have been. And I pretty much taught myself about it. So, yeah. Obviously, my job, which I don't talk about on YouTube and I never will. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, family, friends, barbecuing, nice food, cooking, reading, stories, and just general knowledge and learning more about life and stuff, really, to be fair. So yeah. Gary there, mate, IPALs, to put a 20-minute video together, how many minutes do you actually film? 4 hours. Not that long.
No, see, this is where Chris is far better than me. He is far better than me. It takes me weeks to process a video. It just takes me hours and hours now. I video everything, and then it just takes me weeks to edit it all down to something that's a bit more manageable. Where the likes of Chris and Ant, their editing takes so much more compressed because they're getting it right in camera on straight away. Whereas I just film everything. I've got hours and hours and hours of footage that then takes me ages to edit down. So I need to learn. I need to learn, really.
Yeah, I'd just say that comes with the territory, really. I might film a lot of clips, but certainly with YouTube, I think the sort of golden target that you need to aim for is around 25 minutes at the most. It's a long time, isn't it, on a YouTube? We're not talking about a movie here. We're talking about a YouTube video. To hold someone's attention for 25 minutes on a YouTube video, it's a lot. You need to have a lot of hooks in there. So as time's gone on and the more experience you get at doing it, obviously the clips you film versus how much you edit decreases over time. When it first started off, it'd be hours. I'd whittle it down, but now the editing process for me isn't that hard because you film your scene on the camera, and then invariably in the editing, there's not that much that gets chopped off the beginning or the end of it because you become quite accustomed to it. So I don't know. I'd say for 20 minutes, I might be filming an hour's worth of footage, but in the editing software, it doesn't take long to chop the rest of that out. That's about that for me.
Yeah, well, that's one of the negatives for me of YouTube. Sometimes I get overfaced with the thought of sitting and starting editing a video. Sometimes overfacing because I know I've got hours and hours and hours of footage to wade myself through. Whereas I'll chat to Phil. So I'm out with Phil next week. I know that Phil, when he's editing a video, he literally drops every single clip that he's taken in order straight onto his timeline. And he's literally just chopping the starting ends off, just trimming them up, putting a transition on, and that's his video done. So he can be out in the morning, and like yourself, Chris, his video can be live by tea time. And
yeah. What I'm a great believer of is anyone that makes videos, don't be constrained by what you think should be the time. If to get your story across, you think it takes half an hour, take half an hour. If you think it takes 15 minutes, take 15 minutes. Don't aim for like these arbitrary figures in terms of times. Don't think like I've just said, 25 minutes. All right, that is a good guide to aim for. But if you want to keep your content organic and your video is, well, no, I'm trying to tell the story of this. And if to tell that story, it takes 38 minutes. Take 38 minutes. Don't edit your clips down. Don't do your story a disservice. Put a video out there that takes 38 minutes. If people don't want to watch it, they don't want to watch it. But you're putting content out there. That's your story. And as and when you want to refine those things and you can tell your stories in a shorter amount of time, well, you do that. But if it takes longer, put a longer video on YouTube. doesn't really matter. That'll be my advice.
Yeah, I agree. And I always got to keep. I check myself, thinking, well, ultimately, the person that I'm making the video for, when it chips down, is for me. So I want to make the best video for me. And then if other people want to watch it as well, happy days. But ultimately, I want to make the best video that I can make for me to watch at some point in the future. I don't want to think that actually I could have made that better, but I chopped it in half because YouTube wouldn't have liked it.
Right.
Anyway,
Damien, what's your dream bucket list camp that you want to do? Nobody.
Well, to be honest, we're talking about going up to Sullivan, and I've wanted to do that for quite a while, to be honest, mate. I genuinely have. I like to go. I would like to go to Canada. I'd like to see some of the proper mountains. But I love Scotland. I've been to Scotland lots of times. Sullivan, Stack Polly. But no, I think probably somewhere in the Canadian Rockies, something like that. Yeah,
I'd say Everest Base Camp. I'd love to go and see that one day. So, okay. Jess Noble.
What's she saying
now? 9:59. Just says cute.
Thank you.
Joe, great advice. Joe. Clark, he's going to bed. Steve Proud. Bisco 2. Julie Gunning. Okay. What is a good but not too expensive drone? I would say the DJI Mini 2.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
600 quid. And then Natalie seconds that by saying, that's what I've got, the Mini 2, and I absolutely love it. Damien Bulldog Badger uses the DJI Mini. Natalie, I'm a photographer. Nothing but stress. Stick to being an accountant. So, I mean, I don't know. Is that Natalie? Natalie, is that your full-time job? I don't know if you're still watching. Hopefully you are.
I've got to say, Natalie, that I would never aspire to be a professional photographer because I think you're right. It just sounds like nothing but stress and aggro to me. I'd much rather have a nice, stable 9 to 5. But I do love sort of going out and about and taking some images. But I would never dream of trying to make it full time, to be honest.
Yeah.
But hands up.
Benny, Chris, really love your more moody Vista stroke scenes with great music, black and white. Would you consider doing a silent video, a bit like Swedwoods? Not that there's any problems with you talking. But as your guest, not want to generalize, but people from Liverpool or that area, I'm good at talking. I can fill in the gaps. But I've tried. I might do, because if I was out camping on my own or just doing a lunch in the woods, I wouldn't speak. And, my personal situation is I'm single, been single for a while. It's just me in this house. So I spend most of my days on my own in silence. So weirdly, talking on YouTube videos and like this live stream, other than work, it's like that's my only communication. So weirdly on YouTube vids, it's a bit of interaction and communication with other people. But that said, those Swedwoods videos and Nagualero, for example, another good YouTuber, they're great because it doesn't need talking, because the outdoors, the scenery, the ambience, the cooking, the sounds of nature, the wind in the trees, the lapping of the water on the lakeshore, the sizzle of the food on the pan, all that is the soundtrack. And I agree. So I'll mix it up a bit. I'm happy to do that. Always happy to mix and match and Try different things.
I agree. To be honest, I think the same. Sometimes you just end up chatting inanely just for the sake of something to say, and it's not been quite the same in the last 12 months. We haven't been able to get out anywhere particularly epic or decent, but there's times you're thinking, well, you don't need to say anything, do you? Just let the scenery do all the talking. Just point the camera and just sort of let the scenery do the talking. And to be honest, if I'm watching videos, they're the ones that I enjoy the most. I enjoy watching those that have less of the individual in and more of the scenery.
Julie says, what is the best place you have filmed from?
I spent the morning sitting on the edge of Sharp Edge filming sunrise. So there was cloud inversion coming up, cloud inversions all over the lakes. And I was just sat on the edge of Sharp Edge. I'd camped by Scales Town at the bottom. And I'm just sat there all morning, just watching all the cloud inversion, sunrise coming up. I had my camera, taking photos. It was mint. I sat there for a couple of hours. Fantastic. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'd say mine was not long after this time last year, up on St. Raven's Edge, that wild camp in the snow and in the solo. COVID was just starting to take hold, and I parked in the Kirkstone Pass in the car park there, and then made my way up to the opposite side of Red Screes. That was a cracking wild camp. But yeah, love to get further afield, sky, get better with my drone footage, all that, onwards and upwards. So Graham West's comment underneath that, what's your favourite video you published in YouTube? I don't know. I think I've got about 250. So I think the Pendle Hill in a storm with Walshy, that's a really good one. But then, I like them all because it just documents my times in the great outdoors, which I love. But possibly the Pendle Hill one for me.
Yeah. Firstly, whilst I love going out on my own, my favourite videos have been the ones that I've done with Chris, Ant, and Phil. So Castle Crag with Ant, Top End of Hill, Helm Crag, those ones, because they were the ones that I enjoyed doing the most because I was having a good crack with the people that I was with. So whether the quality of the video is not as the best or not, doesn't really matter, but they're the ones that I enjoy doing the most. Yeah. So if I was ever going to go back and watch my videos, they'd be the ones I'd go to first.
So Tony Rob Hall asks, what's the priority for best shot? What's the priority for best shot? Tough one, that. What are you going for? Priority for the best shot. Tough one.
I'm not sure what does he mean by that? What's the priority for the best shot?
So what are you going for? Well, I'm just assuming, mate, because it's not clear, but you go for just the views, the scene, the atmosphere. Or are you filming a certain thing of what you're doing, or do you want to get the whole scene in? What's your mindset in? If capturing the best shot, what are you thinking?
If I'm taking a photo, to me, there's like a classic debate within photography between composition and light. And to me, if you've got phenomenal light, so you're out in a sunrise, sunset, and you've got cracking light, then your composition is secondary. So you can take an average composition. So let's say your composition isn't fantastic, but you've got phenomenal light, you're going to take a decent picture. So to me, I like to be somewhere where, you know, top of a mountain, sunrise. I've got you know, the clouds are all nicely lit up and pink. You just point the camera and you're going to take an half decent shot. You are. So to me, it's always about the quality of the light, I think.
Yeah.
And then everything after that will kind of look after itself.
So Leon signing out. Gunshift 74 Gundog. What are your thoughts on using GPS devices here in the UK? I would say it's great, but a GPS should always be a backup to having a map and a compass and knowing how to use them. Don't rely on that. Don't rely on GPS on its own. Don't rely on a mobile phone on its own. It won't go down well, especially with mountain rescue. I was never taught that way. I was always taught to use a map and a compass and just see a GPS as a supplementary backup, as it were. You know, there's no substitute for being able to work out on a map, a grid reference, and being able to put yourself on a map and use a map and a compass as GPS. It's dependent upon battery and satellite signal, likewise mobile phone. So there's no substitute for basic map reading skills and ability and compass use. So that's my thoughts on that, Tony. I don't know if you're any different.
No, well, I know it sounds boring, but I agree. What I really use the phone for is what I think the one thing the phone can do that the map can't is the phone can tell you exactly where you are.
Yeah.
So it's all well and good. You might have the world's best map reading skills, but if you've no idea where you are, you're somewhat knackered. So what I tend to use the phone for is just to make sure I know exactly where I am on that map. And then worst case, if my phone dies, at least I've got the skills to read the map to get myself off from where I am. But yeah, I agree. You never want to rely purely on a GPS. I was in Wasdale with Josh a couple of years ago, and we're going up Moses Drop Path. A couple of guys come past. Well, it was a lad and his girlfriend wearing trainers, pair of jeans. What's the best way up? Scarfell Park. Where's Scarfell Park? Well, it's up there. All right, which best way to go? And you can you don't really go in there, mate. You don't want to. Have you got a map? Well, no, I've got my phone. And you can you're going up the highest point in England, and you're quite clearly not dressed for it, and you're purely reliant on the phone, and you've no idea which of these hills is Scarfell. What on earth are you thinking?
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what people do. That's what people do. You know. So no, the best.
Mate, I'm not one of these that's going to jump on just criticizing them. Like, you see that all the time on Facebook. Look at these idiots. Look what they've done. They've caused this. And what you mean to say that we haven't all done things in our lives? So like when we're learning the hills, where you think, well, we got away with that. And people jump on them and they slate them and they criticize them. And it's like trial and death by social media. We've all been in that position. We've all done things we shouldn't have done. That's how we learn. That's how we learn. You think, I'm not going to do that ever again, mate. And I am just sick. And you will see when Mountain Rescue put posts out, they will say now under the post, this isn't, I don't want to see a barrage of abuse at the people. They've made a mistake. The human. They made the wrong choices. We don't need to hang, draw, and quarter them. They've just made the wrong mistake. And even like the idiots, they've turned up in jeans and trainers. Great. they've made a mistake as well. They didn't turn up to go, I know, I want to get hypothermia on top of Snowdonia. Let's do this for a laugh. They're just ill-informed, and I don't like this judgmental jump on him, criticize him, lambast him. Yeah, they should have read things, but they didn't. That's where I'm at with all that, mate.
Cool.
We go into some scary tales, mate.
I got so yeah. Let's have a look. What have we got to here? Favorite picture or video captured, and then we'll call it a day.
I'll let you answer that, mate. Well, I'm looking for scary tales.
You get it right. My favorite picture. What's my favorite picture? Well, to be honest, my favorite pic is. I can't really show you, to be honest. My favorite picture is a couple of years ago. We were at took the camper across to Europe. Did a bit of a road trip. Ended up in Chamonix, and I took an image of Mer de Glace. Went up on the train for sunrise. Mer de Glace is a glacier. On the train, sunrise. Picture of that. That is my favourite picture, which I would show you if I could. It's literally it's just there, but I can't. Anyway, but yeah, that is my favourite picture. That is my favourite picture. Anyway,
back in 1 minute, you're gonna have to fill.
Right, my second favourite picture then is this one here, which is of the shambles in York, which somebody, to be honest, accused me of nicking off of Google. So me and Michelle, again in the camper, went to York. We got there for 3 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to be on the shambles nighttime with nobody there. So 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the end of the shambles, taking an image. Not a soul inside. Absolutely mint. Could have been something out of Harry Potter. Posted it on Facebook, yada yada yada, and I don't know, loads and loads of likes, and a couple of guys were absolutely adamant that I'd nicked that picture off Google because it looked very similar to other images that were already on Google, which it would do because there are plenty of other people who stood in exactly the same spot and took exactly the same picture. But yeah, so that's my second favourite picture, which I'm trying to convince Jessica to put up on in her house, but she's having none of it. Thank you very much, Chicken. Benny Mac is asking, looking forward to more call-off videos post-lockdown. Top Gear style road trip in Tony's van, maybe a bit of a series. Well, I'm definitely up for that. I keep suggesting it to Chris and Ant, but Ant's wussing out. I've got a road trip round Scotland all lined up. But Ant's wussing. He's not having any of it. But yeah, I'm definitely up for that. I can see pub crawl in Edinburgh. I can see that coming on.
Yeah. And York.
Yeah, York.
Tony, get the
get
the horror stories on. So
banner. Chris's bedtime story.
It's 20 to 11.
Ooh.
Have you got any horror backgrounds to get on, mate? With share or
come on? No, we haven't.
Put Tony on the spot here, right?
No.
Okay. Well, I've got this book. And last time it just went into hilarity, but there was one of the very... Hang on a minute. Let's get this mic in front of me. One of the very kind subscribers to my YouTube channel kindly sent me this book. Folklore, Myths, and Legends of Britain. And I love stuff like that. You know, we're not saying it's true. It's folklore, myths, and legends. So it goes across the geography of the UK, and we are in East Anglia for this. How's the audio sounding, Tony? All right?
No, you're on, mate. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So I'm going to start with this one. And again, I know we're getting late, but anyone in the comments, let's keep the interaction going. If you've got any spooky stories, if you've got any experiences you want to share of little walks where you felt something wasn't quite right, or you've experienced some kind of what you perceive to be or supernatural phenomenon, let us know in the comments and we'll talk about it. But this one is about Black Shuck. Black Shuck, the demon dog. And this is East Anglia. Mr. Noble's laughing already.
Come on,
but
right, I'm on it.
It says as follows, and let us know in the comments if you've had any supernatural experiences when out hiking, camping, wild camping. Let us know. We'll talk about it after this. Uncanny black dogs are no strangers to East Anglia. For in a great storm in 1577, the same one in which the devil is thought to have left his mark in Blythburgh Church, a black demon dog, or the devil, such a likeness, appeared in Bungay Church and brought havoc with him. According to an old pamphlet, he departed leaving two dead worshippers strangled at their prayers, and another as shrunken as a piece of leather scorched in a hot fire. Demon dogs have haunted different parts of England, and particularly East Anglia, for over 1,000 years. In the eastern counties, the spectral hound is generally known as Black Shuck or Old Shuck. The term shuck coming from skuka, the Anglo-Saxon for demon. I'll just show you the picture of this. It's absolutely hideous. Look at that. So moving on. So there's different sort of subcategories here. In the graveyard, unlike dogs of this world, Black Shuck seems more attached to places than to people. He has always walked alone, loping along riverbanks and lonely roads, or leaping over churchyard walls and vanishing amongst the tombstones. The appearance and characteristics of Black Shuck vary from place to place. He seems to emerge from his secret lair only at dusk, and is usually described as a shaggy creature the size of a calf, easily recognizable by his saucer-sized eyes, or sometimes eye, weeping green or red fire. Part monk or part hound. In Suffolk, Black Shuck is believed to be fairly harmless if left alone, but when challenged, he has been known to strike his aggressor senseless, and death usually follows. At Clopton Hall, Stowmarket, where he guards a hoard of gold, his appearance is especially frightening, for he has the body of a monk and the head of a hound. Often in Suffolk, he can only be detected by the touch of his rough coat as he passes. The Norfolk Shuck is a more sinister hound, more akin to the diabolical werewolves which haunted this sparsely populated region in the Middle Ages. He is an awful creature, as black as ebony, whose fiendish howls have been heard above the shrieks of the wildest gales. Terrified people have sensed Black Shuck padding behind them and felt his icy breath upon the back of their necks. Even today, motorists have reported swerving to avoid the hellhound crossing the road. There is a popular belief in Norfolk that no one can set eyes on Black Shuck and live. In East Anglia generally, when anyone was dying, people used to say, "The black dog is at his heels." The Essex Shuck, however, is a kindly hound and has been known to protect travellers on lonely roads. Only his habit of haunting the sites of ancient gallows and graveyards is evidence that he is a demon dog. A death warning. The Cambridge Shuck, like his Norfolk counterpart, is both diabolical and sinister. He is sometimes seen between Wicken and the marshes of Spinney Abbey. Those who encounter him should look the other way, since his appearance is said to warn of death in the family. So there you go, the Black Shuck. Shuck it.
Graham West sleeps thanks to it every night.
So have we got anything in the right, Tony? You scan the comments. Have we got any comments?
I am.
Supernatural experiences, because we want to hear about them.
Well,
have you been camping? Have you felt uneasy? Have you felt there's something watching me? Let us know. Let's interact. Come on. I'd like to hear it.
Black Shuck every night. Robert Hall has seen a ghost at his granddad's house at Malvern.
Well, ask Rob. Rob, can you elaborate on that? Let's elaborate on it. There's probably not many of us watching still now, but for those of us that are, let's keep the interaction going and let's hear about, I'm interested in the supernatural. I love Pendle Hill. I've got a page open for Pendle Hill, but let's hear about your supernatural experiences.
Well, Jessica,
Tony, your daughter's, your tenant's experience in Harwood.
So we used to rent. When I got together with Michelle. So I used to live in Great Harwood in a cottage built in 17, God knows whenever it was. I lived there on my own for 5 years. Got together with Michelle. I moved in Michelle's house, rented out the house in Great Harwood. We then got some tenants in. They were in there for a couple of months. And then the estate agent said, did you have any strange experiences in your bedroom? Sorry? Yeah, did you have any odd, weird experiences in your bedroom? No. Oh, why? Well, the tenants are convinced that they have seen ghosts in the house, and they wish to move out. They want to hand back the tenancy because the house is haunted, and they're absolutely terrified. Okay. Well, no, it absolutely isn't haunted. And if you want to move out, you can pay me the 6 months rent that you owe me and crack on. But yeah, they were absolutely convinced that house was haunted. There was things in the attic moving around, visions at the end of the bed, all sorts. Well,
in the comments there, we got Benny talking about Project Amber on YouTube, about a ghost of a girl in a remote location in France. We got Rob Hall, seeing a ghost at his granddad's house. Malvin, seriously. So we said, elaborate on that. Obviously, Westie's come up with a comment there. Joe, I saw one. Watch the guy wearing a black suit and bowler hat walk up a grassy hill and behind a single tree. He never reappeared. We checked behind and he was gone. The tree was halfway up the hill. Black suit and a bowler. And Benny, the bottom there, about drinking in a pub in London. He had 2 pints knocked over on the table on separate occasions with no explanation. Turns out it was sat where a regular customer sat who had died recently. So and that's like part of my upbringing. Well, we love Halloween and ghosts and spooky stories and tales, you know, and I've carried that on, to be honest. But I think there are spooky tales, and I don't just think when you die, that's it. Like, you know, it's just like turn the light switch off, and I think there's more to life than that. And I used to love Most Haunted. I always remember, and I say it on the Pendle Hill video, I always remember watching the Most Haunted lives on Pendle. It was around 2000 when they went to Tynedale Farm. Most Haunted live, Tynedale Farm, Lower Wellhead Farm, when they had Derek Akora on, and it was Most Haunted in the good days. I remember I worked in the Odeon cinema at the time. I remember coming home and watching that with my sister. We like stayed up. We both still lived at mum and dad's, and it was like, it was terrifying what took place. It was really scary. But I do like the supernatural, mate. And I don't discount it as rubbish. I don't.
Benny Max asking, have we heard of Chingle Hall?
No.
I've been to Chingle Hall. It's just outside of Preston. Is it Grimsor, Goosner, something like? Is it Goosner? I can't remember. But yes, I've been to Chingle Hall when I was a kid. Went with my sister, and my sister was absolutely terrified for weeks afterwards. Wouldn't sleep. Apparently, that's something to do with me taking the mick out of her, but I'm not sure that's true at all. But yeah, I've been to Chingle Hall, and yeah, you're right. It's full of priest holes and sort of very old, sort of medieval house.
Isn't it?
Very spooky. It is very spooky, to be honest. It is, absolutely. But my sister came out of there absolutely terrified. Absolutely terrified.
Well, look at this page. We've got everyone on Pendle. Storm over Pendle. Look at this image. Look at the hideous witch. It is though, wait, look.
But if it was a photograph, it's a drawing. But if it was a photo, then
it's a drawing, mate, but it's come from somewhere. So I'm gonna go on it because I've slept. I've hammock camped on my own, mate, over Pendle Hill. So the fascination with Pendle Hill and me, you know, you can't discount. I mean, those Pendle witch trials, they took place. That happened. Yeah. Those women were hanged, accused of witchcraft, and found guilty of witchcraft in Lancaster jail. So, shall I talk about it? Shall I go on it? Storm over Pendle. It's the nighttime hour for the grown-ups only. So, on Thursday, August 20th, 1612, 3 generations of witches were marched through the crowded streets of Lancaster and hanged before large crowds on a gallows about a mile outside the town. The parson's prayer that God should show them mercy must have made bitter hearing, for they were shown little in this world. Most pitiable and least pitied of the 10 witches, all but whom came from Pendle Forest, was old Chattox, a crazy, half-blind beggar woman withered, spent, and decrepit after 80 years of poverty. One of her contemporaries, Mother Demdike, also in her 80s, blind and a beggar, would have gone to the gallows too, beside her wild, squint-eyed daughter Bessie and 2 of her teenage grandchildren, had she not cheated the hangman by dying in Lancaster Castle jail. The incident that started the witch hunt happened 6 months before, on March 18th. Alison, one of Mother Demdike's granddaughters, met a peddler called John Law while begging near Colne and asked him for some pins. He refused to undo his pack, whereupon Alison cursed him. A few minutes later, he had a stroke, and both he and Alison believed that her curse had caused it. He lived just long enough to testify against her at trial. By then, according to the clerk of the court, his head was drawn awry, his eyes and face deformed, his speech not well to be understood, his legs stark lame, his body able to endure no travel. A fortnight after John Law's stroke, Alison, her mother Bessie, and her half-wit brother James were questioned by the local magistrate Roger Nowell, and Alison readily confessed her responsibility. In chilling detail, she also described her own close acquaintance with witchcraft, as well as that of her family and friends. By the end of the day, both Mother Demdike and old Chattox stood accused as witches and murderers, and Bessie had been stripped, searched, and shown to have supernumerary nipple for suckling of the devil. She's got a third nipple, Tony. She's got a third nipple. Just putting that out there.
She's from Burnley, mate.
What are the mysteries of the hunt is the ease with which Nowell secured confessions. By August, without using torture, he had collected enough evidence to convict Demdike, Chattox, Bessie, Alison, James, and 6 others on extraordinary variety of charges. These included the desecration of graves, communing with imps and the devil, plotting to blow up Lancaster Castle by magic, and at least 16 murders. It may be that he knew what he was looking for, and by the way he phrased his questions, made sure that he found it. A suggestion that is borne out by the fact that another of Demdike's granddaughters, 9-year-old Janet, was one of his chief witnesses. Or else the 2 old women may have been bent on settling an old feud between their families, which had begun more than 10 years earlier, and in trying to destroy one another, they destroyed themselves and their children too. It is also possible that the 2 families did practice a form of black magic and believed, as Alison believed in her curse, that it worked, and being simple, even by the standards of the 17th century, they may never have realised until the ropes snapped tight around their necks how cruelly they could be punished by James I's new laws against witchcraft, even though their only real crime, if it can be called that, was poverty. And in reality, that is the sad story of the Pendle witches. They did nothing wrong. They were just like beggars, and they were hung. You imagine that?
Yeah.
So for me, that holds quite a magic of the area, because that's fact. That happened. It's not a story. Those people, those stories, you know, what went on, Demdikes, Chattox, that is fact. And they were hung, believed to be witches. So for me, that holds a special, I don't know. That's why the area is so fascinating to me, mate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, it is, isn't it? Like I said, they are facts. Aren't they? Those people existed. Those things did happen. I think I've offended some Burnley people.
You have.
Sorry, Jesse. Natalie.
What are our other captions, Tony?
What have we had? What have we had?
Bedtime. I mean, there are more bedtime stories, but I'm trying to keep it.
What have we got left? What have we got left? Our other banners. Any new gear we've bought? Somebody's asked if we've got any new gear recently. Have I got any new gear recently? How much do I have, to be honest? Have you got any new gear recently, Chris?
No. And you know why. If anyone's got, so we keep it going another 15 minutes. If anyone's got
keep it going.
Any questions, anything whatsoever you want to ask me or Tony, we'll answer it as honestly as we can.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
If you can think of anything you want to ask.
Yeah, I'm out of questions.
Anything whatsoever.
Come on, let's scroll back up the comments, see if I can find anything in there.
And we'll answer it as much as we can. Benny there saying get to York. Mate, honestly, mate, I've been loads. Oh, yeah, I've been quite a lot. Pivney, I love it in there.
We go to Christmas, to be honest.
Yeah, we got some stuff. We got some stuff planned. But yeah, I've been to York, mate, quite a few times. I love it. Drinking hobgoblin in the Golden Fleece, but right, okay,
Joe.
Is the Joe husband Tony go?
What sort of weight your pack? Right. Well, let's go. 12 months ago, I was going up Castle Crag with Ant with a 65-litre pack that must have weighed 25 kilos. It was mental. So I decided, sack that off. I'm not doing that again. So I bought myself an Osprey, whatever it is, Kestrel 48 litre, which, come what may, that's all I'm taking. So everything that I'm taking has to fit in that rucksack. So I then got it down to just shy of 20 kilos, which is still a lot. But then I'm taking a lot of camera gear. So I'm taking 2 cameras, 2 tripods, drone. So I'm probably taking 6, 7, 8 kilos of camera gear on its own. So if I can get anything less than 20 kilos, I'm happy. I'm happy. Something like that. Chris?
I'd say about the same. Like my average about 15, 16 kilos. I think once I got it down to about 12, 11. That was a miracle. It's because I don't filter my own water, and I carry like 4 or 5 litres in on every camp, so that's like 5 kilos. So yeah, it's about that 14, 15 kilos on average, to be fair.
I genuinely don't see how I could get any less. As soon as you start putting in your beers, your food, and whatever, you know. Yeah. I couldn't. I'd struggle to get it much less. Genuinely would. And you know, I've got a Pipe V400 sleeping bag, so I've got a light sleeping bag. They're like extern mats. I've got a super light mat. My tents are light. I couldn't shave any more weight off if I wanted to. So it averages out at just shy of 20 kilos.
All right, Benny there. How about a vid where you do a camp with only gear donated by subscribers? I'll start you off with a tent. All right. When does the Alak 2 arrive, mate? Just let me know. I'll send you my address. I'm all for that. I was going to do a video. It'd be a bit stupid. where it was like one of those like Barbie tents. I'm not joking. I'm like Home Bargain, B&M. Take it on the moors just to go and show. You don't need much, but I thought I'd get a load of abuse for that. So I didn't do it. But mate, I'm all for that. I'm going to do a video as well, like the cheapest wild camp, but I know there's a lot of people already preempting that. So Ruben Streamer. Yeah. And plus I want to do a vid with vintage camping gear. I've got some vintage stuff in the loft, which I've bought, not unpacked. I've not showed people yet. So yeah, there's a lot of content coming. I don't want to give away what's coming for 2021, but stay tuned.
Well, that was one of Pat Dickinson's best videos, wasn't it? He's going back to the 70s video.
Yeah.
You've seen that one?
Good ledge, yeah. Old Pat.
No.
Because like he's got his ballies on, hasn't he? And his full Cortina with the lads in like France, south of France.
But he had a Hilleberg tent in 1974.
Yeah.
You mean? So he's been at it properly, hasn't he, for a long time?
Yeah.
You know, he's not new to it, is he? He's not one of these like Johnny come latelys.
No. Plus his like back garden meals. He always had like soup. Big massive soup. Then there's like sausage, mash, beans, peas, and off a bottle of single malt. Which is what I do, to be fair.
But on his last one though, he even admitted himself that he was a bit full. That I didn't really want that pudding.
Yeah,
the amount of stuff he can put away.
I'd love to see his missus because she must be quite similar to him. Because I saw their record collection and I was like, right, okay. So I can kind of work you out, you know, what kind of people you are based on the record choices and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, but isn't he? He's an absolute legend. He's an absolute legend. I was just telling my sister last week that she needed to start watching him. And she needed to watch his 1,000 subscriber video where he's going around Sheffield on a bender on his own.
Yeah.
That's mint. That video is mint.
Poor bait. Taxi for Chris. Yeah, I'm getting tired now, mate. Judy Gooding, why are you worried about abuse? Well, I'm not, but who's worried about abuse? Tony? I don't know.
Why? I don't know. Why are you worried about it? I don't know.
Why are you worried about abuse? I'm not worried about it.
I'm not sure what it means there.
It's just what you get on YouTube. Just part of the story.
I genuinely have to say, I find the trolley comments, they bring colour to my day. I do. I enjoy. Like, I've had all sorts of comments. You know, the problem with my videos is that I'm in them. There's too much of my face. You know, I'm halfway through your video. I've seen more of your face than the other, the surround of the tent. You are not that good looking. That I memorized that one. But they don't. They literally, it's water for ducks back to me. They do not bother me at all. So you bring it on. It brings a right smile to my face.
Benny there asking best route up Hell Valley. First time with his brother. I'd say if you want scrambling, and you're experienced with all that, do the Stride and Edge route from like Patterdale, and back down by Squirrel Edge to Patterdale again. But if you don't fancy like severe sort of ridges, it's not that bad Stride and Edge, to be fair. But if you fancy a lesser route with less exposure, go up from the Thelmere side from Swales. And yeah, it's a bit of a slog up, but there's no ridges. So if you want a tasty route up, go from Patterdale side. And if you want an easier route with no exposure and no severe ridges, just go from Thelmere side.
I've never been from Thelmere. I've always been up from Glenriddin. But Striding Edge is because you don't have to walk across the top. There is a path, a good 10 foot from the crest. You don't have to, have that sense of exposure if you don't want. You can if you want, but it's you don't have to. I've never felt Striding Edge is particularly scary. Never. The worst bit of Striding Edge is right at the very end when you're getting up and down off it. Yeah.
Right, Tony, what are we going to do? Wrap it up?
Yeah. Just use your phone. Striding Edge, yeah, Striding Edge, right. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I think that's 3 hours, 10 minutes. I think that's a marathon session. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, we'll be back in a couple of weeks if Chris fancies doing it again. But yeah, like I said, thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.